Season on the line, 4th and 11. Butka looking downfield, throwing, incomplete, broken up at the 10-yard line. And Oak Ridge is headed to the NJSIAA Central Jersey Group 5 Championship game.
There's one in the flat. Good catch that time by Ransom. Ransom with a lot of room. And a good block by Delonzo down the field. And Ransom is gone. 57 yards to the house. 2-2.
Swung on and miss. Strike three. St. James Smithtown has done it. They are the 2025 New York State Little League Baseball Tournament champions.
Drops back, throws all the way to his right. Has a man down the field, and he's got him! First play of the drive, touchdown, New York Green Wave! Sanioki's season on the line. Goal to go from the 2. Kyles looks to run with it. Pitches it to Sip. He grabs it. He's in for the touchdown.
The final 25, and they're neck and neck. Kane looks like they have just a dash of a lead. Salisbury taking first. What a race. Live from Edison Jets Field in Edison, New Jersey, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2026 Jersey Sharks season as part of the Major League Football Elite competition. Tonight, it's a Week 2 matchup as the Sharks usher in the home portion of their season with a date against the 1-0 Central Penn Piranha. Good evening, everyone. My name is David Pizzuto, being joined alongside my broadcast partner, John McCooch. And John, the Sharks may be coming into the season with a big bullseye on their back as the defending MLF champs, but they took one on the chin last week against Baltimore, and they come in looking to avoid a dreaded 0-2 start.
First off, great to be here, Dave. We have a very interesting matchup here tonight. When you are the defending champions, you for sure have a major red laser on your back. But champions usually have a way to fend this off early in the season, and the Sharks, they have to do that in this one. Going 0-2 is a start that you definitely want to avoid, especially as a team. You have aspirations of making a deep postseason run, but the Piranha also have an opportunity to give themselves a huge head start heading into the rest of the season. These early weeks are where you learn just how good a team is, but also the path you need to take to establish yourself at the top of the standings, Dave.
Obviously, it's an early season test, but one with plenty on the line. John, let's take a look deeper at our teams here tonight. We're very familiar with the Sharks after their great year last year, buzzing through the MLF last year, on their way to a championship and a national title game last year. And they bring back a lot of talent this year as well at all positions. It's a team with a lot of pedigree and staying power, and they're looking to make that 20-0 loss last week a distant memory. How do they do that?
Yeah, it's a long season for them, and you cannot totally throw away the game film here. But offensively, getting those first points on the board is going to be the key in this one. After a shutout, especially in week 1 as you open up the season, you are kind of waiting for this unit to click, and you have a drive where everything works properly and it puts numbers on the board. That can really be a big momentum boost for you. The defense, they have things to work on as well, and I'm sure they did, but they did enough in that game, but they definitely have a lot of things they want to improve on. But look for this offense to be aggressive early to give themselves a boost heading into this one here at home.
John, this is the first time we're going to see the Central Penn Piranha here on PDF, but we saw them on Facebook Live last week take apart the Maryland Cougars 34-0. It has Coach Will Hanna's team pumped up in their first of 2 tests here in Jersey this season. What can they bring from that game into this one, and how do they match up against the Sharks in this one?
I mean, for the Sharks, talk about a tough team to face after you get shut out on week 1. You take on a team that also just pitched a shutout against their last opponent, but for the Piranha, they had everything rolling in that game, especially defensively, and Coach Hanna's squad should be pumped for this one. A big win like that gives you confidence and early momentum heading into the rest of the season. Expect this defense to come out with aggression and try to see if they can pitch another shutout defensively in this one. It's on the road this time, though, so it will be a bit tougher.
So before we kick off in this one, let's take a look at the rest of the league and what they are up to. It's safe to say, John, there are 2 huge matchups this week that showcase the MLF Elite.
Right, for sure. Obviously, our matchup tonight here is huge, and we're going to talk about this game as we go forward into the rest of the season. But you also have the Brooklyn Seminoles taking on the Baltimore Hurricanes in a battle of undefeateds. MLF Elite football has a great weekend on their hands, both of these games being very important for the rest of the year. It is great to be a part of that here tonight on PDF Sports Network.
Absolutely. And the MLF Elite is broken up into northern and southern divisions. These are the teams in the north. So, we'll keep our eye on them. It's a packed and crowded house in the standings. And, of course, this is a big game for the Sharks, needless to say, trying to get out of that 0-2 hole should they fall. So I think we've set this game up pretty well, John. What John and I will do now is step out so we can hear from our sponsors. And when we come back, John will be fieldside to chat with Sharks head coach Lou Mora and some of tonight's players on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. It's coming up next. Stay with us.
Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's comfort provider since 1987. With over 100 factory-trained service and installation personnel and a fleet of over 100 vehicles, we are able to service our customers faster and more effectively than our competitors. Our team of customer care professionals are always on call for an in-home consultation. If you and your family are in need of an installation or service completed by expert technicians, done professionally and efficiently, you need Edison Heating and Cooling. It's what we do.
Welcome back to Edison Jets Field here in Edison, New Jersey, home of the Jersey Sharks as they get set to make their home debut against the Central Penn Piranha, a critical Week 2 matchup here in the MLF Elite. John McCooch, my partner, has gone downstairs, and he is talking to a few of the Jersey Sharks players and head coach Lou Mora. Before we get to Coach Mora, though, let's catch up to John, who is with starting quarterback for this one, Chris Culo. John, take it away downstairs.
John McCusian alongside quarterback Chris Culo here for the PDF Sports Network and the Jersey Sharks. And obviously, after a loss last week, how do you guys bounce back after losing?
I mean, we'll win. That's the easiest answer, right? We're going to do what we're supposed to do today. Last week we played a great team. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But we're here, full team today, going to represent for Jersey and, take it home.
And offensively, you're leading the charge under center, obviously, as quarterback. What's the number one thing that this offense needed to improve on after last week?
Honestly, just take what they give us. We didn't, we weren't efficient last week, and we knew that. We had a lot of guys that practice on Thursday. So today we're just going to move the ball and, do the right plays and, score a lot of points.
And then mentally, obviously you recovered. But what was the mentality, what was the message, from coach and obviously you as well, leading this offense into this week?
I mean, listen, mentally, last week is over with. Obviously it's still in the back of our memory. We play them in a few weeks, but, we're on to week 2. The season isn't over after 1 week, and we know that. So when we win the rest of the games out, we'll be on top at the end of it.
All right, best of luck, Dave. We'll send it back up to you.
All right, John, great stuff down there with Chris Culo. Of course, after coming off of a shutout, this Jersey Sharks team will look to get on the board early and often in this one against the Piranha. It's time now to flip the page and go towards the defensive side of the field. One of the big guys in the middle of it all, defensive tackle Amir Kofer, is with John downstairs. John, take it away.
John McCusian alongside defensive tackle Amir Kofer here for the PDF Sports Network. And Amir, after a loss last week, how does this team bounce back?
It's good to bounce back. I know we're going to bounce back today because, we really highly upset about that loss. It wasn't supposed to go that way, but we're going to make it up today and so forth. That's all. That's how I feel.
Then heading into this defensive game plan, what's the biggest thing this defense needs to improve on it this week?
I just play D-line, so I just tell me and my guys, just give it all. Give it your all, bro, every play. And we're going to get somebody else in there when you're tired. Just keep doing it. Every time you win it, that's how we're going to roll.
Defensively, obviously it's a hot day outside. How are you guys, and especially you as well, going to keep this, physicality and aggression up in this game?
We used to it at this point. We do OTAs and everything, so we kind of used to being out here in the heat during the summertime. So this ain't nothing too much.
All right. Thank you so much, Dave. We'll send it back up to you.
All right, the Sharks, of course, looking to neutralize a Central Penn offense that put up 34 points last week against Maryland. Defensive tackle Amir Kofer is going to have a lot to say and do about that. We're going to wrap things up downstairs on the sideline with John meeting with head coach Lou Mora, longtime head coach of the Jersey Sharks. John, take it away with Coach Mora.
John McCooch for the PDF Sports Network, joined alongside Coach Lou Mora for the Jersey Sharks. And the biggest question, how do you bounce back from a loss after last week?
Well, I'll tell you, last week it looked like we were just going through emotions. We watched the film. We were definitely dead. The other team played well, as they should, and we made some adjustments this week. We know what we have to do. We just got to come out here and play Shark football. Last week was an aberration. That won't happen again. We'll come out with a victory today.
Obviously, both sides of the ball are going to be really important in this one. Offensively, what's the biggest thing you're looking to improve on?
I'd like to get our running game going a little more. That's been kind of lax the last couple of weeks, even in our preseason games. So hopefully if we get that going, we got enough firepower on our offensive passing game that we can score points. Defense have to come up big. They gotta stop their quarterback. He's a scrambler. Got to keep an eye on him. So I think if we do those things, we'll come out victorious.
Took the defense question right from me, right? But the mentality, what kind of was your message heading into this week? What was the mentality for this team trying to bounce back?
You got to play Shark football. We were just so far off last week. And again, I'm not demeaning what the Hurricanes did, but, we got to come out and play Shark football a lot better than we were last week. We will do it this week. We'll get it right.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Dave, back up to you.
Plenty of stuff for us to look forward to, spoken on the offensive, defensive sides of the ball, and, of course, on the sidelines with head coach Lou Mora. We'll pay attention to those talking points throughout the game. What John and I will do is step out one last time here during pregame. When we come back after this next commercial break, we are going to get you set for kickoff here live from Edison, New Jersey. It's the Sharks and the Piranha, a battle in the water, so to speak, as John makes his way back upstairs. We'll see you after this break. Stay with us.
Representing a seriously injured person requires a lot of research and preparation, but it also means giving hope to the client.
Lombardi Law is always there for you whenever you need them. You can count on them at all times. Lombardi Law gave me hope when I had none.
When you hire the law firm of Lombardi & Lombardi, you're not just hiring one attorney. You're hiring the education, the knowledge, and the experience of all 10 attorneys in this law firm.
Lombardi & Lombardi, representing seriously injured clients since 1973.
Baba Milonga, Perdón que amor que no digas es separado. Baba Milonga. Esta canción es para ti. Dime cómo le explico mi destino que no estás ahí. Dime cómo guardé para entenderme de este frenesí. De esta locura que siento por ti. Con esta química que haces en mí. Y yo no puedo caer, Nena, discúlpame si te ilusioné, yo no lo quise hacer. Sé que en el amor cuando es real se vuelve. Pero cómo olvidar tu piel y cómo olvidarte mujer. Yo no puedo caer, baby, no me gusta tanto muy tiempo, eso sigue guardando.
Luzio Chromotherapy lighting is a groundbreaking innovation from Bain Ultra. In the past, the lights were mounted on the surface of the bathtub. That is all history. Bain Ultra, as usual, came through and introduced LED lighting built into the walls of the bathtub. So when they are not in use, they're invisible. Once you activate or turn on, they shine through and they're translucent through the acrylic shell to give you that wonderful LED experience.
We could not have timed it any better. We come back from our second commercial break, ready for kickoff here. The Jersey Sharks won the toss. They elected to kick here, and they will go from right to left on your screens. The Central Penn Piranha will get the ball first. David Pizzuto alongside John McCooch here as John makes his way back up into the booth. And John, Keys to the game here, real quick. We'll start with the Central Penn Piranha. They're the visitors. We're going to see them on offense first. What are some boxes they need to check in this one?
I mean, this obviously we talk about the shutout for the Sharks, but this Sharks defense is the calling card of this team. They are a defensive squad, so it's what you're looking out for. And this Piranha team, yes, they put up 34 points last week, but they have to understand what they're going against here. They have to understand that not all defenses are going to allow you to score 34 points every week. You have to come out, get a good first drive going, but even for the Sharks, right, this is a team that needs momentum. And getting a big defensive stop on your first defensive possession, really, that could also kind of flip your momentum back in your way. So it's a big drive here.
Absolutely. And for the Sharks, obviously getting shut out last week, the goal is obviously to score some points this week. What are some of the keys to doing that here against the Piranha?
We talked about Lumora, right? He said he wants to run the ball and establish that, and I agree. But I would also say early in the game, I would not be surprised if you get a big first deep shot, a big pass, try to just get this offense open things up. The run game's how you do that early, but if you can get a big play, a big chunk play to start things off and just establish that you're going to be an aggressive offense, that you're confident in what your offense and the talent you have as well. And if you're not, maybe you do run the ball all game. But they have playmakers. We're going to talk about Todd Simmons all game, I'm sure, and they have guys that can go out and make plays. So if they let a playmaker go out and make a play early, they got a really good shot to score a lot of points in this game.
Easy to forget when you've been shut out if you could score early in this game, and that's going to be something we will anticipate them wanting to do. Josue Hernandez will be the kickoff specialist here for Jersey to get us started. He wears number 11, back deep, Gerald Barrow and Tyler Sean Parker, and I believe it will be Parker who goes down on a knee. That he's still alive there, gets back up and scampers past the 20, makes a man miss, but he fails to get to the 25 and be held up about the 23, 24-yard line, and that's where we'll see Central Penn come out first here on offense. 34 points last week against the Cougars, looking to pick up right where they left off.
It's a good job to be able to just get some yardage out of that, but you obviously don't want to have that happen. An early kind of muff on special teams, slips up, goes right down. This field's great. I don't think it's a field issue for slipping.
No.
So sometimes that just happens. But now they get a little bit better field position than they might have had, but still a little bit backed up here before the 25.
And it will be quarterback Devin Meyer Sr. He'll be back there in the shotgun. Kind of a negative sign, John, is we didn't see any time go off the clock on that kickoff. So we'll have to see if that will be operational or not. It will be a carry here off of left tackle, but nowhere to go for Ronald Burnett as he was held up by a series of Sharks. I believe the first one to get there was safety Marshall Young, who stepped up, and then the cavalry came in, and we got a loss of 4 yards on first down, second down and 14.
Yeah, it was a big loss, almost unbelievable losing that many yards on first down, and there we go, there's the clock. So okay. I guess we get 20-minute quarters?
I don't think that's correct.
That cannot be, right?
No.
And if it is, then...
That's interesting. That is really interesting. But
yeah,
we'll keep our eye on that. But no, I don't not believe they play 20-minute quarters here.
That would be impressive. I mean, even the NFL doesn't even come close to that.
So Meyer Sr. will remain out of the shotgun. They bunch really tight over on the right side, and it's trying to set up some room. And there to make a great stop was Amir Kofer, the man that you interviewed in pregame, and he spills Burnett for another pretty heavy loss on that play. We're talking about a loss of 2 more, and we'll make it maybe 3 more. We'll make it a 3rd and 17.
Yeah, big tackle, came right back inside, and you just got swallowed up in that backfield. You knew exactly what I was going to say, right? That is just defensive tackling to a key. This Sharks defense, that's what you want to see for this squad.
When you see the running back literally disappear inside the arms of the defensive tackle, then you know you've got a swallowing happen.
Yeah, you just got big guys over there. It's just impossible. You get into the hole. It's just you have nowhere to go. And I think this is a timeout as well.
Yeah, timeout by the Piranha. So we got the signal there. So the Piranha call a timeout, and so having them go backwards 7 yards in their first couple of plays. What do you dial up here on 3rd and 17? There's not a lot in the playbook here, but it's a pretty big moment in the game early.
I mean, I also don't know exactly how much you're going to trust your punter in this situation as well. You want to give him some yardage and you want to give him some space. Either way, the Sharks are going to get good field position if they get this stop on 3rd and 17. I mean, you can't really go for it all, right, because you don't want to come out of this play with nothing. This is one of those moments where they'll probably run the ball and all the fans will go, why did you throw the ball? Mm-hmm. Well, we're backed up all the way back here and we've been losing yardage. But also, it's not like the run's working either. You've lost 7 yards running the football. So it's interesting. And they may have more of a net gain throwing the ball in an incomplete pass than running the ball again.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting moment, but this Sharks defensive line came out and has done exactly what they needed to do so far.
And for the first time, we'll see the Piranha spread it really wide here as they get a late substitution that comes in as well.
Got to hustle.
Yeah.
Got to get the play first, though.
Yeah, that was Lawrence Miller who came in late. He's listed as a defensive back. High snap from Myers. He's going to look to race towards the right sideline. Flag is down, and that one is incomplete. Thrown near the laces of Barrow, who lined up in the slot. And we'll see what the result of this flag is here, John. But if they take the result of the play, if this is a holding call, and it is, the Sharks might decline it, and they do. So it'll be 4th and 17. And the Sharks with a very impressive first 3 plays on defense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just defensive line. Even the defensive line showed out on that play as well. It is what just everything starts with the defensive line defensively, because if you get a good rush, then your quarterbacks don't have to do too much. They don't have to worry too much about receivers developing down. It all starts in that middle of the field, and it worked out in the run game. I mean, they just absolutely swallowed this offensive line. So now you've got a backed up punt. He's going to have to punt this in terms of where he's actually kicking the football from right before the 5-yard line. So this is exactly how you want to start out a game.
And Central Penn Piranha are starting to spill players in and out, and they are taking a long time to get this playoff. So they're up against the clock here. Todd Simmons Jr. and Ronald Butler are back deep for the Sharks. They're starting to count down the final 10 seconds here of this play. And finally, the Piranha gets situated. They want to snap quickly, and they do. And the punt is off. It's a pretty decent one. It will be allowed to hit turf at the 50. Takes a great Piranha bounce before it ends up at the Sharks' 30-yard line. So not a bad punt there, about 50 yards almost a field there, maybe a little bit more. They kicked it from the 17, so let's do the quick math. 53-yard punt, no return.
Talk about a punt. I mean, that is as perfect as you can get besides it rolling all the way to the 1-yard line. But that is just perfect punting. Special teams, we all know what they make. I mean, that was beautiful. And none of these guys are really traditional punters either. It's just kind of who can do it the best.
Sure.
So that's the art of punting that we just saw right there. It backed up the Sharks a good bit. So now instead of what could have maybe been starting from your opponent's 40-yard line, now you're starting all the way back here. I mean, you're at the 30-yard line here, Dave. And
yeah.
That's a great punt.
Yeah, and it's something we rarely talk about during the pregame show, and we rarely single out the kickers and punters for these teams, but special teams has always been a big factor in these semi-pro games that we cover here on PDF. 1 or 2 of them make or break games. Chris Kulo out of the shotgun. He will give it to Jones, and Jones tries to gain the edge but cannot do it. Got about 2 on the play, maybe 1. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. We expect to see a lot of number 7, Stephen Jones, in this game. He has been a stalwart for this Sharks team year in and year out, John. He has been the bell cow back there. He does take time with Rob Jackson as well, who I believe was supposed to make the start. We might want to queue up the offensive starters here for the Sharks here. We'll get them on the screen for you. There is the starting lineup. Chris Kulo, Jackson was the scheduled starter. Tight end Justin Hayes, Simmons Jr. and Sanders, the wide receivers, along with Shamar Saru. And you see the line there. Mason, Jean, Tobias Green, and Willis round out the offensive line. 2nd down and 9 here. Chris Kulo, just a 1-step drop, and finding Simmons in the middle of the field, 1st down before he's tripped up at the laces by Kai Smith, but a healthy gain of about 15 yards. And the Jersey Sharks have the game's first down.
And that's the playmaker that you expected to see, right? They had a mix of establish that run, but also find your playmakers. And we'll take another look at this one as well. Simmons with a great route run.
The Sharks will go quickly here. We'll get you back to live action when we need to here. You won't miss anything. We promise. And we're going to have a stoppage of play here, and we're going to get the official call from the White Hat. It's a timeout by the Piranha, and they are down to 1, John.
It's a great timeout for the replay operator, a.k.a. me. But, yeah, I mean, after you give up a big play. Now they've used 2 timeouts already in this first half. And, I mean, I doubt there's actually 17 minutes and 8 seconds left in this first quarter. But, I mean, there's still plenty of time left in this first half. So that's it. Usage of your timeouts, they're very important to have, even if they're in the first half. And a lot of coaches definitely – I even see it at, Division I college level, right? They kind of think, we can waste our timeouts early, get our team settled in. But they're still important to have, especially once you get into that 2-minute drill sometimes in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's true. And when we have a timeout, a longer timeout, we'll figure out what's going on with the clock. We have no bearing on the clock, by the way, folks. The clock that you see on your screen is being kept outside of our jurisdiction, and we believe that either way, the official time is being kept on the field. So that's just made to be a guide for you folks at home. Meanwhile, on 1st and 10 with a new set of downs, the give is to Jones. Jones sprints out and is able to gain the edge on the right side this time and plows ahead for a gain of about 9. We'll see if they move the sticks here for the first down. They do, so he got the full 10, and the Sharks are setting up now in Piranha territory.
It's a great run by Jones, and he was just able to break a couple tackles, get things moving, and it looks like the Sharks will move quick as well.
Yeah.
But Jones, really effective runner. We see the physicality again from this guy. I mean, he is able to just break defenders off really effectively, and he's just great at it.
And now underneath, Jones sidesteps a would-be tackler, gains the line of scrimmage, and pulls ahead for about a gain of 4 before he's dragged down from behind by number 19, who we do not have on our roster, unfortunately, here for the Piranha. But Stephen Jones doing a nice job there, John, of making what could have been a 1 or 2 yard loss into a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, that's some great running backs too, right? That's why he's able to be the bell cow. If you're able to kind of have a moment where the defensive line does get past and he's able to break that first tackle, it's really important because once you break it, you can still get a couple yards out of it and turn a negative play into a positive like he just did.
I think the Piranha have too many guys on the field, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, no, 11.
Oh, 11?
Yeah, I think they did have the 11. Chris Kulo down the sideline looking in the direction of Simmons, and he almost had it with one hand. Simmons tried to shield away the defensive back with the other, I believe, and nearly came down with it. But it'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, he almost got to this football. It was about as close as you can get to it. Put the hand out. I thought he was going to make this catch. Might have got a hand in there as well. That defensive back might have been able to get onto that football.
Yeah, that was Kai Smith on the coverage, and he might have been able to get that hand in there right at the last moment, like you mentioned, John. But, you know, you might say at home, why doesn't Simmons go up for 2 hands with that? I think he was trying to use that left arm to kind of, arm bar the defensive back away from the ball. So it'll be a 3rd down and 6. We would assume it's 4 down territory here, but obviously we know what happens when we do that. But on 3rd down and 6, the Sharks would like to get it right here. Out of the shotgun again, a 0-step drop, and they run it out to Butler. Butler has the first down and more and slips out of bounds. And a good job of tackling down the field as well. Simmons was in the area, as was Justin Hayes, setting up the blocking downfield. First down for the Jersey Sharks, a big 3rd down conversion.
It's one of the most important things a wide receiver can do is block, right? It's the most underrated part of someone's game. You see an extra push in there, and able to kind of tiptoe around this too. Stay in bounds, get that first down, a couple extra yards after that. So really good work. Wide receivers blocking, everyone kind of putting their part in.
So a drive that started at their own 30, they've almost flipped the script here. They start now this new set of downs at the Piranha 33-yard line. Crisculo almost exclusively will work out of the shotgun, we would expect, as the Sharks go with 3 wide here, 2 on the near side. It'll be the give to Jones. Jones picks a hole, plows through it, and is close to another Jersey Sharks first down. And John, Coach Lou Morris said it. They want to be able to run the football and establish the run. It opens up so many other things for this offense, and right now it's working.
It's working. I mean, they've churned out first downs with this run game. They've done a great job of that as well. And it all starts with his run game. He was right. I mean, he had the game plan, and so far it's working, but you got to put it in the end zone too. But this is efficient offense from Jersey.
Giroux is lined up in the slot here on 1st and 10. It'll be Crisculo looking in the corner, and it's too elevated and out of bounds for Simmons. Crisculo was spilled on the play as Daquan McCraw came in on a blitz and was able to put down Crisculo. So that ball just wasn't timed right there, but Simmons had a step.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised he was able to even get this football and at least get it up in the air and in a good spot. Just was a little bit too much on there for Simmons to catch that football, but still a good throw from Crisculo to even just get rid of that football, let alone make it somewhat close to catchable at that point.
John, I don't know if you saw that move that Simmons made. He gave a quick left foot to the inside and then bounced it outside, and he got the defensive back all sorts of tripped up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why this guy's been at NFL minicamps before in his career and is just, really lit up, especially arena football as well.
Second down and 10. Now they go on the opposite side. Butler trying to get some space. Comes down with it. Touchdown, Sharks. What a grab by Ronald Butler with the cornerback in his hip pocket. And the Sharks take the lead 6-0.
I mean, what a snag. We'll take another look at it for sure. Chris Cuolo, kind of the throw he was looking for before, right, to try to get that over the shoulder and on a dime. And this was just really caught well, fended off that defender. I mean, what a grab. Tough catch with contact. That's football right there. Good way to start the game for the Sharks. Big defensive stop, and now that. Really good drive established by the run, and you get the passing game going. This is the Jersey Sharks team that we know.
Yeah, and, Kasim Lofton did not have bad coverage on that play at all. I mean, he was stride for stride with Butler. There may have been some hand fighting there at the very end, but that is a gorgeous pass, a great catch, and all around here, as I think Jersey Sharks are going to get called for too many men in the huddle. That's exactly what the call is. So they'll back this up 5 yards. They were going for the 1 with Josue Hernandez getting set to kick the extra point. I'd like to think that's still on the table here.
For sure. He's, it's not like he's one of those players that is a kicker. So he's able to, hopefully, I hope you imagine he's able to make these kind of kicks. Not an easy one as well, but.
Yeah, we saw Josue Hernandez kick for the Jersey Bearcats, the arena football team that we cover as well. There's a couple of Bearcats here. Chris Cuolo, of course, the quarterback, has spent some time with the Jersey Bearcats as well, as has Todd Simmons. And now we have a whistle and a stoppage of play again, and we'll see from the white hat what our signal is here. As again, now Stephen Jones was kind of trotting out because maybe they had too few men in the huddle.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a Sharks timeout. We haven't gotten an official signal yet, but no, they're backing up 5 yards again here.
No flag was thrown, but I think, now they're counting the men here. You see, I believe Rob Jackson out there just counting. Let's see how many guys he got out there, but this is...
Well, there's 11 out there now.
Yeah, now we're getting another... They signal for another player from the Piranha to get out there, too.
Wow, and they've backed this up all the way to the 22-yard line, so I think they've backed up 20 yards.
Now it's a 32-yard PAT?
No, that's actually more. It's about 40. Right? It's about a 39-yard, a 39-yard extra point.
Yeah.
So you could see it on your screen just how tough of a kick this will be. But Josue Hernandez, tell you what, you'll hear this crowd erupt if he nails this one. And we have another flag.
My goodness.
And you see the Piranha, they do have a man back. That is Kasim Lofton. Just in case, actually that's not. That's number 10, Lawrence Miller, who's back there. Potentially, if this is a short kick, he can return it for 2 points the other way. And now we have a flag against the Central Penn Piranha. I didn't get the actual call. It was off screen a bit.
Now I think they're saying they're pointing at that player back there, at the return man.
Well, in the back of everything, right near the goalpost, you could see it. I mean, just by the
that's a lot further than, that's not, because usually it's right at the line, at the goal line.
By the S in Edison, that is Lawrence Miller. So now it'll be a 35-yard extra point. Finally, maybe. Snap is elevated, the spot is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Nailed it. Dead red, and the Jersey Sharks complete the drive with the extra point in tow, 7-0 Sharks.
After, about 4 stoppages there? I mean, talk about icing the kicker, right? Your own self-icing, your own kicker, and then another penalty and a stoppage and a lot of discussion about how does football work. Still able to get up there, nail the kick, get a point up on the board, and now we can do a kickoff for the Piranha to have to respond. But I have not seen that many stoppages on a PAT, maybe in my life.
And, John, let's talk about the psychology of football a little bit. You have the Central Penn Piranha coming off of a 34-0 win. You have the Jersey Sharks coming off a 20-0 loss. What does a drive like that do to the confidence level on both sidelines?
It does everything because, again, the mentality was clearly – that's why I was so curious about the mentality. Do you throw out the game script? Do you keep it? It seems, that week is over. Obviously, we learned from it, but that week is over. And now they kind of start fresh. Right now, you ignore that week. You learned from it. And now you're up 7-0 on the season, really, when you kind of refresh everything. So it's a full reset. right? Mentally, you're able to just reset everything for yourself. Now you're up 7-0. You can play the game that you planned on playing this season. Sure, you had a rough week 1, but right now you're in this game. You're locked in. And on the Piranha side, oh, man, shut out the last team. Now the first time they get the ball, they go down the field and score with ease right there. So that also kind of makes you get a bit of a lump in your throat too, because, oh, man, is everything that we're doing really working? Are we really that good? You might question that a little bit. So now a big response drive for the Piranha.
Absolutely, and conversely for the Sharks defense, they've been on the sideline for a bit and are well rested here, and their offense has given them a lead for the first time this season, and good coverage down the field there by the Jersey Sharks. Angel Rosario came up with a nice stop, and he was joined by the safety Dion McNeil Sr., able to spill the ball carrier, and for the second time, the Central Penn Piranha will start from just inside their 25-yard line here. They went -7 on their first drive of the game as we get another look at the return.
Yeah, really good tackle. I mean, 2 guys ganging up on him to tackle. Really good way for this kick return team. Go out with speed. It's always good to see a collaboration tackle and a really physical one as well.
Yeah. Gerald Barrow got scissored a little bit on that last play.
Like I say, he
Top
got barreled.
and bottom. Yeah, got barreled. Yeah, that's
wheelbarrow. He really did get wheelbarrowed, though. They got him by the
Absolutely,
legs
yeah.
and moved him down. So, yeah, that's how you do it. But right now, the Piranha, you were kind of talking about it before, right? This is a big response drive for the Piranha right here.
Yeah, and conversely, again, that Sharks defense was on the sideline for a bit.
Yep.
Their confidence swelling up as well coming off that first drive here. A couple of real big plays as they empty the backfield here. Piranha only threw the ball once on their last drive. Meyer Sr. is on the run. He scampers out to his right, surveying the field. Under pressure, goes middle of the field, and it is caught. Well timed there in the middle of everything. Tarir Mills, I believe, was the one who caught it. Now, there are 2 number 3s for Central Penn. The offensive player is listed as quarterback Tarir Mills. Then they have defensive back Joshua Honorat. I'm willing to think that that's Honorat playing wide receiver. But man, that was just so close to being tipped away by Papali as well. Trying to get back to that's a tough throw to go make across your body, John.
Yeah, it felt dangerous. I mean, that's the alarm bell for everyone that watches football. Seeing a throw across the body on the run and a defender in the area, alarm bells go off, but able to just find the spot, receiver makes a play.
5 wide and in motion, and that ball is down as Barrow could not come up with the exchange, and it is Jersey Sharks football. And they come out with it, actually, and scampering into the end zone. I believe this play was called dead. But we can't hear the whistle from our booth, but Dion Corprew was with the ball in tow. But they are going to mark this one down. And that's a play, John, where if that's flicked forward, that's an incomplete pass. But because of the exchange that was bobbled, that becomes a fumble, and the Jersey Sharks defense comes up big again.
Yeah, we'll try to get this again as well, a bit slower for you so
Sure.
you can take a look at it. But this is a really good awareness by this Jersey Sharks line to go out and be ready. And I always get weary every time a receiver comes around because they don't always take carries, and it's immediate recovery, very clear recovery as well. Not much to really worry about there. But those can happen, especially when you're not used to it. If you don't practice that enough, you haven't done it a lot. Those can be tough exchanges, and you see it right there. And right, it's a good point, though. That could have been an incomplete pass, but again, it happened on that exchange, so it's a fumble, Sharks football, and a tough break for the Piranha.
And Corprew came down with the fumble recovery, but he was also in the backfield during that exchange, and he's the one who disrupted it, really, and forced, Barrow to kind of short-arm that one a little bit. So 1st and 10 for the Sharks at the Piranha 38-yard line. What a chance here. Still in the first quarter. Under pressure is Criscolo. He's looking once again down the field, and it's stride. Lance Fisher makes the catch, and it's a touchdown for the Sharks. A one-play drive, 38 yards. Criscolo to Lance Fisher, and the Sharks are close to doubling their lead.
I mean, that was gorgeous. And one play, and you talk about momentum, forget all that. It's a one-play drive. Chris Criscolo, he has found that spot with the football, and he seems to have a really good sense of throwing that ball over the shoulder, but he was wide open on this one, just broke the defense. Fisher had a really good year last year as well. Able to, the Selly's great there too, but, I mean, what a moment for this Sharks team.
Yeah, and we lost Fisher, visually, but
yeah.
I believe that's just a simple fly route. John. It just looked like it was just a fly route. I believe the Jersey Sharks got called for an excessive celebration penalty here, so they've backed up this extra point again. But Kasim Lofton was the defensive back in coverage, so he's been victimized twice now on that play, and that's just a simple fly route and a perfect pass again. Lance Fisher with his first target of the game. It goes for 38 and 6 points.
So yeah, maybe and now this for Josue. I mean, now you have 2 point afters that have been pushed back so much. So it wasn't too great as well. But I mean, that was just a timeout now, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it's because, again, personnel issues for the Sharks getting in and out of the huddle. They've now called their first timeout, and it's for the point after here. And, you know, similar to us not talking about special teams a lot during pregame, John, it's usually not practiced all that often either with these teams. And so personnel becomes a big issue, and knowing who's in and, you know, what your responsibility is. And the Sharks got caught there and had to utilize a timeout.
Right. I mean, you talk about how much these guys are able to practice at all if, you know, when they do practice. And you don't have to focus on special teams as much because, again, you don't have as much time. So you want to make sure that your offense clicks and those things are right and where your defensive assignments are. And special teams can kind of maybe become an afterthought at times because of just how much you have to practice. So it's important, though, to make sure that you have these things dialed in, especially substitution-wise, right? And that can lead to these sort of things.
All right, another 35-yard extra point attempt here for Josue Hernandez. Snap is good. The hold is down, and the kick is up. A line driver, but it splits the uprights, and Hernandez is 2 for 2 in that department. And the Sharks have officially doubled their lead here, 14-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, this is the start that you expected when you look at it from a Sharks perspective, and you wanted to see them do this. You wanted to see them have this kind of start. But, yeah, again, we couldn't see exactly how he got so open to Fisher on the initial play, but it's just efficient offense. Obviously the one-play touchdown, and now the defense comes out and shows up, but they took immediate advantage of a turnover.
Right.
That they did force, right? They got the defensive line got pressure, but it's also an avoidable mistake for the Piranha, too. So now you're down 14-0 if you're the Piranha, and you got an important one here.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of that, John, of immediately after a turnover, you know, going for the jugular, you know, going for that one play down the field, because you have a defense that's trotting back onto the field, you know, maybe a little bit cold, not being, you know, ready to be out there again. They just got victimized for a touchdown on the last drive, and that's a good call there by the Sharks to go up top again, looking to take the top off the defense, and they were successful. 2 for 2 on that side of the field, 2 different receivers, and 2 perfect passes by Criscuolo.
And also, just to kind of mention the clock, I think we should just -5 from whatever's on here right now in our heads.
Because it's been pretty good as far as that, but it started with 20 on the clock, so we're about 8.5 in here. As that one is taken on the fly there by Barrow. Barrow gets some good blocking and is able to get nifty there and get to about the 40-yard line before he's taken down. One of the first and on the scene was Brian Kroski. And so Central Penn, for what it's worth, get the ball back right near where they gave it up on their previous drive, but now they're down by 2 scores.
And it's a really good return here, and I really just wanted to see the hurdle that we were able to see. Whoop, just get up there. And he thought about doing it again, too, but there's 3 bodies right there. So, I mean, hurdles are fun.
That was Tyreer Mills. We got confirmation from the live chat. Thank you very much for that, by the way, that offensively Tyreer Mills is the man of record wearing number 3 for Central Penn.
I mean, that 3 is very popular, so I'm not surprised that there's multiple players that want to wear it. And obviously, you can have the same player wear it, as long as they're on different sides of the ball.
Sure.
You can have that. Even in college, you can have that too.
Yeah, and most of the single digits are being worn by 2 players, one offensively, one defensively. At least for the Sharks, and there are a number for the Piranha as well. But another big opportunity to make a statement here. It's a 0 blitz, and in the middle of the field, the completion is made. Good drop-off there in the middle of the field. London Williams on the catch, and for the first time in this game, Central Penn is on Jersey's side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, that is just great execution. They were able to get that there. But, I mean, it looked like it was going to be another dangerous play. Throw it right to the middle of the field, but just found that spot right in the pocket there. Beautiful play. They were able to find that zone. At
the Sharks' 49-yard line, 1st and 10 for Central Penn. In motion is Sotomayor, and it will force Myers now to go to the right as the pressure is there. Hands on Myers, but we have a flag down as it takes 3 Sharks to get Myers Sr. down 2 yards shy of the line of scrimmage. So it'll go down as a 2-yard loss. And the final man to make the stop was Darrell Kennedy for the Sharks. But we'll get a view here of what the infraction is. It's obviously in the area of holding on the Piranha.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get a signal there. But, yeah, holding on the Piranha there. We'll take another look at this play. And there's got to be holding somewhere, right? When you get a quarterback that has to take out multiple defenders this close right there. Yeah, so that might have been it right there, too.
Yeah, the block in the back could have been as well.
And, I mean, this is a shifty quarterback. I mean, we can clearly see that. We can clearly tell. So, yeah, I think they're backed up a little bit to holding. There's a holding signal as well on that one. So
our partner at PDF, Joe Foreman, who's working the New York Bears game in Hilburn tonight, John, he always says you can always tell the caliber of quarterback you have by how they play against the rush and what they do. And Myers has been pretty good. I mean, he's dropped a couple of really good passes with hands in his face, and he also has wheels. We saw that last week against the Cougars as well. He has the ability to take it and run with it as they empty the backfield yet again, and he's going to have a chance to survey again. There's pressure coming, and now he's going around the outside. He gets the original line of scrimmage and is put down after a healthy gain of about 14 yards. It'll set up a 2nd down and 6 upcoming.
Oh, man, he did the first down celebration. He did not get the first down. But, I mean, really good run, right? You were able to get the yardage and able to make a nice move to pick up a few extra yards as well. I mean, we just talked about having a mobile quarterback and how effective it can be, and we'll take a look at this run. But he was able to find that. And he's a guy, though, that he tucks the ball very early, right? You know when he's going to run and take off and gets past some of these big guys up there as well. And first down celebration to make it 2nd down. But, that sometimes it happens.
Malachi Harris had the tackle from behind here on 2nd down and a long 6 upcoming. Now they do have some help in the backfield to maybe chip block, but instead coming out of the backfield, making the catch was Burnett. Burnett gets held up, and there's going to be no gain, perhaps a short loss on the play. First onto the scene was Kareem Stewart. And, John, I don't think we ever put up the Jersey's Sharks starting defense. Why don't we take a look at that? These were our defensive starters here. Corprew, Kofer, Williams, and Bethea up front. Marmoleos, Papali, and Kennedy, the linebackers. And you see the secondary there. Amir Robinson and Jaquin Wembley are the corners. Marshall Young, the free safety, and, of course, the man of record on the last tackle, Kareem Stewart, started at strong safety. 3rd down and 8 following a modest loss on that last play. It'll be a big play here. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Burnett is in the backfield as well to help support, and they go to the far sideline, but that is thrown well out of bounds. With the pressure in his face, it'll bring up a 4th and long, and decision time here for Central Penn.
And I think at this point of this game, first quarter, yes, but you're at the middle of the field. I think it's go-for-it season at this point. With how much you're down, too. Obviously, it's early, but you give this ball right back to the Sharks at this, even how long you're going to get this punt might not matter, but we'll see.
Yeah, but if the Sharks do get a stop here, you will hear the swell of this Sharks team here as they can smell blood in the water, or forgive the pun, but the Sharks on top 14-0. You see the time on your screen, 7:42, but the clock was started with 20 minutes on it, so we are in the late stages of the first quarter. A pretty long quarter. And out of the shotgun on 4th down and 8. Big play here. Myers has some time this time. They keep him in the pocket. He is under pressure, has a lot of green in front of him here, John. Turns the corner, 45-40, has a lot of open space. Middle of the field, racing towards the goal line, and Myers is in. Touchdown. 48 yards, and Central Penn is back in business.
That is a lot of gas taken out of a tank. We have a Shark down on the field, unfortunately, as well. But what a run. And I don't even know if our replay buffer has enough time for this one. Yes, it does. But this was just, I have no words for how well that was, because it looks like a play that's absolutely just going to die at this back end. Whenever you see a quarterback do what he's about to do, turn around in that direction, you get scared, because now he's about 10 to 15 yards back. But now everyone's back for the Sharks, the middle of the field. Once you get past the middle of the field, it's really just – and there's not enough hustle on that left side of the field to try to just make this tackle, and he has just a freeway to the end here. So – yeah, I mean, that is when you talk about guys that are maybe checked out, that's a play where you kind of check out at the end because you think, our guy's got that tackle over there, I'm good. Everyone has to come to the ball on a play like that and make sure that you have somebody going out and getting this quarterback. But we'll take a look at this injury for the Sharks as well.
Yeah, and John, if you could show the replay one more time, and you'll see the Central Penn offensive line does not do a good job. This is only a four-man rush, and you could see it's almost like Olay at the line of scrimmage. And this is just, but look at all that open space on the right side. And you're right here. There's just not a lot of urgency for the Jersey Sharks on that left side to get over to the right. And they got victimized there. And on a 4th down and 8, you talk about needing a play. The Piranha got the play that they needed, and they are back in this ball game. And following the long pause for the injury, we will see if they will trot out. They do have a kicker on the roster, number 9, Kendall Pryor. Will do the place kicking. So we'll see if they try to get to within 1 here or if they go for 2, which we see a lot of course, at this level.
We definitely do. And depending on the league, you can see that the 2-point conversion ends up being a 1-point conversion, not in this league. But it's a big decision, and I don't see a number 9 out there just yet.
Yeah, and they are lined up in the huddle well beyond the line of scrimmage here. So we'll see what they have cooking up for this one. But I'll tell you what, John, if this ends up being a close game or, a back-and-forth affair, we're going to look at that play as the signature play in this game. If the Sharks get a stop there, they're pretty much setting up shop right at the 50-yard line, up by 2 scores. Instead, just like that, in the blink of an eye, we can get close. This could be a 6-point game in just a few moments. Actually, it's going to be a wildcat formation here. 3 in the backfield, taking it and pitching it immediately towards the left side. The Sharks sniffed it out, and there is nowhere to go for number 19, who we do not have on our roster, unfortunately, folks, so we can't get you his name of record. But great job by the Sharks to sniff that one out, as Tarir Mills was behind in shotgun formation to take that snap.
Yeah, and again, I'm still fine with the decision, but again, immediately met by a Shark, and then another Shark comes in. And I think when you get chewed out a little bit on a play like you had before, you see a lot of more urgency to the ball right after that. That had to be what happened. I would love to be a fly on the wall, and whenever we see this film session after the first play that we saw before this, but that's a good play. Snuff that out, make this much more difficult for the Piranha to tie this up.
Good job by number 99, Rafael Cartagena, to come in on that last stop. He was the final one to bring number 19 down. And we are going to switch sides here. So I believe that was the end of the first quarter, John. So we will note that on our scoreboard as well. So that was the final play of the first quarter. And the Sharks have a 14-6 lead here at the end of 15 minutes. So again, the scoreboard was kind of right. They had us about 12 minutes and 42 seconds into this game. And again, the clock started with 20 minutes on it. And wait a minute, now they might be reversing field again? Because maybe it's not the end of the first?
Maybe. Well,
I
right
don't know.
now.
They are.
So it would be this way,
well,
obviously.
Yeah, they're spotting the kick. No, I think that's what they're doing here. But it's off your screen. But there's a couple of Central Penn players who are on Jersey's side of the field. But no, it is indeed. We're going to start the second quarter of play. So, again, folks, the time on your screen is completely unofficial. We have nothing to do with it. That is part of the field crew here. It started with 20 minutes on it. And
I thought that was going to reset when the first quarter ended, maybe. That's kind of what I was thinking. But
that's what I was thinking, too. But I don't know. We could probably take it off or keep it on. It doesn't really matter at this point, John.
Yeah.
We could use it as a general guide. But we knew we were kind of coming towards the end of the first anyway. And so we're through 15 minutes of play, and we've got a good one here. The Sharks have scored on their last 2 possessions, and the Central Penn Piranha, they went 3 and out with -7 yards on their first drive. They fumbled on their second drive after picking up an early first down, and on 4th and 8 from the Sharks' 48-yard line, tip your cap to Devin Myers Sr., who had just as good a quarterback scamper as you're going to see. and has gotten the Central Penn Piranha back in this game.
Yeah, and I don't think the MLF has oxygen tanks on their sidelines, but he absolutely needs a bit of oxygen after that. I mean, it's a long run. It's a lot of running from people, away from people. That's a tough one, and that's one that could take your sails out of you, because when a quarterback does a lot of running during a game, being tired is so not what a quarterback wants to see. They also had to hold the ball there.
So that kick will come down at about the 15-yard line, and taking it is Simmons. Simmons going from left to right, cuts back inside towards the hash mark. There is a flag down at about the Jersey Sharks 35-yard line. We'll see what that is all about, as there is a Jersey Shark player down as well. I believe that's Jaquin Wembley, who's writhing in pain at the 35-yard line. Simmons got to the 48-yard line, and we'll see where they will ultimately spot this ball after the flag.
Yeah, so we'll just take another look at the Simmons return first as well. But really nice catch as well to just catch that right in the air, not on the bounce, and was able to cut back in. Obviously, he's a guy that you expect a lot from in the return game and gets you right close to the 50. It's a great return for this Jersey Shark squad, but we'll see if...
And I don't know if the flag was for that hit. It was like a kind of shoulder-to-shoulder hit at the 35-yard line. I wasn't sure if they called a block in the back there. If they did, that's a marginal call there. But it's going to bring the ball back as Wembley continues to get some work done on him. Again, this is one of two games going on the PDF Sports Network. We don't want you to tune out of this game by any stretch of the imagination, but the New York Bears, who play in the Elite Football Alliance, are playing a crossover game against the Brooklyn Pharaohs, who play in the NEFL, going on our other stream here. Joe Foreman and Joe Calabrese are there for that game. And tomorrow afternoon at 12 noon, myself and Joe Foreman will be in Finland, Helsinki, to see the Helsinki Roosters take on the Seinäjoki Crocodiles, as PDF has coverage, exclusive English language coverage of the Maple League, the top professional football league in the country of Finland. We're talking about the NFL of Finland. It's their final regular season week this week, and what a wild ride that league has been this year for us. I mean, we don't have a huge swell of an audience for those games, but I'll tell you what, for those of you watching, if you want to watch really good European football, American rules football, you have to tune into the Maple League. We're talking about one of the world's best European leagues, and its home here is on PDF Sports Network. We got to cover the International Federation of American Football's Women's European Championship last weekend. Finland won that, so they are the European champs and are looking forward to the world champs on the women's side. We're breaking ground here on PDF. We're so proud of the work that we're doing.
Yeah, Finnish football has really become a thing, and it's great that the PDF Sports Network has been a part of promoting the league as well, and promoting football in the country. You won't be in Finland. I don't want to miss
home studios.
Right.
We broadcast remotely from our home studios right here in good old New Jersey.
I just want to catch a red eye to Finland. I don't think you can do that.
But it's almost like we're there, John.
Right, you're there basically.
We get the feed from our good folks at Kepit Systems in Finland that send it right to our studio headquarters. Can't be more appreciative. As there on the time slant, that pass was behind Saru. And good little fake there as Rob Jackson sees his first action here in the second quarter as Stephen Jones comes out of the game. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, I mean, he ripped this football too. Just wasn't able to time it right on the slant. It was his offense, but that ball was on a rope right there.
Yeah, so, I think they ended up picking up that flag, John.
Yeah, that's about where the kick return was right here.
Yeah, and we said that it was kind of a marginal call there. It was shoulder to shoulder there, so they did not back the ball up. In fact, they'll bring it back to the 48-yard line here for this one. It'll be second down and 10. And again, Stephen Jones was the starting running back in this one, and now he's been lifted for 0. Rob Jackson, who was listed as the potential starter in this one, but they'll probably go quarter to quarter there, rotating out. Central Penn creeping up to the box here, and that one is thrown in the flat. They're intended for Fisher. The catch is made, and now he's down the sideline, making men miss, and a first down and a gain of 22.
I mean, this looked like a play that was going to end at the line of scrimmage, and then you're able to go out, get a catch. and break a tackle, make some moves. Fisher with some great work here. But it's always impressive to see a player able to make a play that's basically dead. That tackle really should have been made,
right?
And he's able to go out and break it. I mean, he's been an impressive player throughout his Sharks tenure. But that's a tackle that has to be made in the open field.
Yeah, and then Miller missed him as well. As now the give is to Jackson, and Jackson now scampers right side. First down and more for the Sharks as they continue to pound here in the running game, and that's had a lot of success as well.
It has. Doesn't matter who the running back is, and they say Central Penn Piranha, you guys can run with your quarterback. We have two good running backs. We can also run the ball. So this is a really good start for this offensive drive.
And in 3 plays, they are now in the Piranha red zone at the 18-yard line. They give us to Jackson once again up the pipe, and he surges forward for about a gain of 2 there as he was met by a series of gray jerseys. Trying to get who was at the bottom of that pile there. It was number 30, who we do not have on our roster for Central Penn. It'll be second down and long here, 2nd and 8 coming up.
Again, for the Piranha, good job to just stop a run, get things going. But, I mean, this Jersey Sharks team still in really good position. And now we know they have a good kicker, too, if things come down to that. If they don't take a field goal, that this is a makeable kick at this point of the field.
Yeah, technically they are in field goal range for sure. 2nd down and 8. Out of the shotgun, Chris Gulo. There's 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side here. Jackson is the setback to his right. They go for the corner, and Simmons makes the catch. 1 foot down. Touchdown, Sharks. Another well-timed timing pattern towards the back pylon, and that time Simmons looked under it. You only need the 1 foot down here in the MLF, and the Sharks have gotten those 6 points right back.
1 foot down, the way it should be in football. Really good throw. I mean, he's been on the numbers. He got that thing blocking us, but you can tell Simmons made that catch. Really good job. That's what he does. I mean, he is a star. They have a couple really good stars receiver-wise. They have a deep core on this team.
Yeah, Alex Paramethis is our camera operator, and we noted that stanchion that's towards the right. It's actually right on the right of your screen right now. And I told Alex, I said, very rare you're going to have a play there, but when you do, you're going to have to take the camera physically out of the window and catch it, and he did.
Yeah,
so
right.
Good job, Alex.
Yeah.
Try and get that one. But, yeah, the one place where we are blinded here in the press box, that's where that play went to. But the Sharks on 4 plays, actually that was a 5-play drive. They go 53 yards and clap right back to get their 14-point lead intact with a chance for one more. And the kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it. So, I guess when you're going for 2, the ball gets played, so it's like the NFL rules. Right? When you're going for 2, the ball gets spotted at the 2, and when you go for the 1, that's where the ball is spotted. We thought it was because of penalty. John, it is not. So that's something that we missed there in the rule set with the MLF. And
right, the original NFL rules were also right where the 2-point conversion is. That's where you kick the football.
Yep.
But now, it seems like every level of football has adopted that you have to back up that football a little bit more to make the PAT less of a gimme.
Yeah. And we do have the right score. It is 20-6. I made sure because, we covered a league last year, John, the League of All Leagues, where if you kicked the extra point, it was actually worth 2 points.
Right,
and if you went for 2, it's actually worth 1 point. So I just wanted to make sure I just gave a little look over just to make sure that we are right to count those as just 1, and we are. So
when I did the preseason game, I made sure to double check because it seems like that league, the rules change all the time, and decisions, it's depended on how many times you're able to, how often you're able to get kickers in your league.
Yeah, and I don't hate that rule. I don't hate the rule that if you kick for the extra points, it could be worth 2, because so many teams at this level will just automatically line it up from the 2.5-yard line and go for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that's the easier thing to do at this level because a lot of teams don't have the kickers.
Right, so now that you've kind of, and when you are able to get a kicker, you incentivize getting a kicker.
Sure,
because,
exactly.
we can get extra 2 points every time that we go out. So once you then get the league to a point where everyone has a kicker, you change the rules to normal because now you've kind of baited everyone into getting kickers.
Yeah, no question about it here. So Hernandez, who missed the extra point, puts that one up in the air, and it's taken at about the 9-yard line here. Central Penn got a good return the last time, and now off to the races past the 40, and finally down at the 45-yard line. Another good return, that time by Gerald Barrow, and puts the Piranha in good field position here to start their fourth drive of the game.
Yeah, and Barrow was able to get some space on this one. Good blocking out in front. Good communication on this blocking as well, but Barrow just has that speed. Sharks able to get the tackle enough where it was, but this is a good return for Barrow.
Good return. I'm also really impressed with the downfield blocking for the Piranhas. You know, it's a good job there. Sometimes you lack some discipline there. We see a lot of flags on those, but that's a good job of setting the wedge and, you know, made it a little bit easy there for Barrow. But the Sharks defense, having given up their first points in what was the final play of the first quarter, off the legs of Devin Myers Sr., now Central Penn Piranha, coming off their first scoring drive, will right back where they started, really. They're down by 14 again and need a response, but that was a big play. We'll see if they can come out with another big drive here. Myers works out of the shotgun. Could be Burnett by his side, and the give is in the backfield. That is number 19, again, who we do not have on our roster. Turns the corner and is corralled out of bounds. First to the scene there was Marshall Young, also in on the stop Amir Robinson. But it's enough to move the chains. Was it enough to move the chains? It was. So the Sharks' 47-yard line got just enough. No, actually, they're moving it back, because I thought the first down was at the 45-yard line, and so, yes, it will be a 2nd down and 1 coming up.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit short, too.
Yeah.
This might even be a generous spot.
Well, now they're moving the sticks again. No, now,
Second down.
It's 2nd and 2, actually. When we have 2nd and 1, that's good enough, but
I got it.
It's 2nd and 2.
Sure.
We were right. Shouldn't have doubted ourselves. Fake give, and now middle of the field, and that one is bobbled and dropped that time. Good throw, but Shakur Ham-Brown could not come down with it.
I mean, when you have someone kind of breathing down your neck there, you know you're going to get hit. You can force those drops a little bit when you're able to do that. So good pressure to cause that incompletion, come through with a tackle and make that happen.
Yeah, I have been impressed with Devin Myers, though, even him throwing the ball. Those balls have been there, and the middle of the field is where he has been looking to attack. He's done a nice job there. 3rd down and 2. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. They go in the flat immediately. There is a flag down on the play, turning up towards the first down marker. Getting the first down was Lawrence Miller. However, we'll have to see what this flag is about here.
Yeah, that's the biggest question, because this could be a first down or this could be a flag.
And it's going to be a delay of game, actually. So the play was allowed to continue, but there was a delay of game. At least that's what the signal was. And so they're going to move 5 yards down the field, and they're going to have to move the sticks again, John, because they moved them for the first down. So they'll back this up, and I think what we're going to see at the end of this all is a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yep. And was it a delay of game? I thought I might have figured it would have been kind of an illegal motion sort of play, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the signal from the white hat was for delay of game, but I'm with you. I mean, usually that play would be whistled dead immediately, but
so I know the delay of game and illegal shift ones are very similar.
Okay, so that could have been it as well, because the flag was thrown by the side judge here. It's sitting right at the 50-yard line. You could see it right on the corner of your screen as soon as the coach, who's wearing the blue, there it is, just showed up on your screen. But yeah, usually a delay of game call is not called by the side judge, so you're right, it could have been a shift call. But anyway, 3rd down and 7 will be the result here. Big drive. Sharks have scored on all 3 of their offensive possessions. A couple of extra points for their 20 points. And the Piranha sit at 6 after their last drive, a 48-yard run by the man who will touch the ball next, Devin Myers Sr. The give is underneath, however, and that's going nowhere fast. A short loss on the play here by number 19 again, who we do not have on our roster, but it's going to set up, John, 4th and 8 again.
And they're right back to it. So now, that's the question. It seems like this team is anti-punting.
Well, they punted the one time and got a 53-yarder out of it, but that was, of course, at their own goal line.
Right. Had no choice.
Yeah, and the last time they were faced with a 4th and 8, well, all Myers did was take it to the house for the Piranha's only score. We'll see if he can double the effort. But they are undoubtedly going for it here and are taking their time in the huddle. I don't know if they are waiting for substitutions here, but that play clock is winding down. The Piranha with only one timeout remaining. And the clock is stopped here, and this second quarter started with about 7.5 minutes left on that clock, so we have to think that we're only about 4 or 5 minutes into the second as we have wholesale changes being made. So it leads us to believe there's a timeout called by the Piranha. That's their final timeout.
Yep.
And it leads us to believe that they might be punting here on this play.
Right, maybe wanted to see the look that the Sharks gave them and then said, okay, might be better off to punt.
Yeah, or they're going to continue to go for it and didn't want to suffer the extra 5 yards that they would have had on the delay because they were definitely getting down on the play clock.
Right, if you're going to go for it, that is a timeout worth spending anyway. So we'll see exactly how they go about it. I mean, this is territory where you probably should punt, but with how explosive this Sharks offense has been, maybe you don't want to give them the ball back with what is assumedly a good amount of time left in this second quarter of action. So it's an interesting decision here, but I think we may be getting that punt.
Yeah, so they bring out the personnel again, and it looks like they will be fixing the punt here, and the Sharks are sending once again Ronald Butler and Todd Simmons back deep. And it's tough. It's a tough deal when you have to use your third and final timeout just to get the punting unit back on the field. So if you're the Sharks, you do have to be ready here for a little bit of deception, although at this stage, I don't think that this personnel would be it to convert on 4th and 8. But here we go. The kick is up. It's a sky-high punt, a lot shorter than the first one, and it takes a bounce straight up in the air. Modest bounce in favor of the Piranha, but the Sharks will see that ball down at about their own 28-yard line. So about a 30-yard punt with no return. And the Sharks, who are 3 for 3 on their offensive drives, John, are in a position now where they can open up, if they could score on this drive, a 3-score lead.
Yeah, and then also what could be a 26 or 27 point, first half, too,
right,
if they're able to get
yeah.
There's still assumedly plenty of time left in this first half. So really good showing so far by this Jersey team, and they have to go a good ways length of the field to get down there. But right now, this offense has not shown signs that they will struggle to do that. And it also seems that what I've noticed during this game, we also have a penalty, I think, holding on the Sharks. Yep, they got backed up a little bit too. But what's interesting is after that PAT situation the first time where there was, we weren't sure how many people were on the field and substitutions, they've been counting every single time they've been stepping out. Both teams have been counting how many players they have just to make sure. So I wonder how long that's going to be where they keep counting, because they don't usually do that from what I remember.
Right, sure. So they'll start at their own 19-yard line. This is the Sharks' worst starting field position of the game, and we'll see how that affects this drive. But they have been able to run the football pretty well. And Mateo Rodriguez is in it. No, is he? No, it's Chris Culo still out there. No, that is Mateo Rodriguez. Yeah, number 4.
Right. Chris Culo is out there.
Yeah, there's 2 quarterbacks in the game
they're
for
both
the Sharks.
acting as if they're going to take the ball.
Right. No wonder we're confused. Mateo Rodriguez was the one who saw the snap, and he gives it immediately up the middle to Stephen Jones, who's worked his way back into the game as well. Plows ahead for a gain of about 5 yards, and we'll see a second 5 coming up.
Yeah, that's some creative. I've never seen that in my existence as a football fan. Where I've seen the quarterback kind of line up wide and pretend to block. Like you see Jay Cutler one time just stood there and did nothing. I've never seen them both act as if they're going to receive the football. But obviously the center can only bring it one way, really.
Yeah, and they both line up again as if they're both going to receive the ball. And this time it goes to Chris Culo, who almost mishandled it, and he is going to get caught in the backfield for a loss of about 3 on the play. And I don't know what exactly went wrong. We'll have to see that again. Maybe slow down a little bit, John, because I want to see what happened to the right side of Jersey's line on that, because it almost looked like a jailbreak for the Piranha. All hats meet at the quarterback.
I mean, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's just
a good rush on the right side. And, 72 went down as well. Open up that.
Yeah, just not sure what that was supposed to be.
Right.
If, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 coming up here. And again, they will work just with Chris Kulo now at quarterback. 4 wide receivers, and Stephen Jones to Chris Kulo's right side here. 3rd down and 8. Big play here, especially for this Piranha's defense. And unabated to the quarterback, we'll get whistles here as we have flags down. And this is either going to make it a 3rd and very long, or it's going to be a 3rd and short. This is a big penalty here. And keep our eye on the white hat.
Seems like it's leaning penalty on the Sharks.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten any official call, though, but we are getting some directions from the side judge. And it is going to be against Central Penn. Encroachment was the call, so it'll be 3rd down and 3, and that makes things a little bit easier here for the Sharks.
Definitely. I mean, it opens up the playbook, too. You can run the football if you really want to, based on how Jones has been, and he's been great, physical runner. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see them run the football, even though it is, 3 yards.
Yeah, interesting to see what the Piranha do as well as their linebackers start to creep up there. 5 in the box. Make that 6 in the box now.
I think they're expecting it.
Yeah, we'll see if they come in on the blitz, and they do. They send extra pressure. Criscolo under some pressure, but wide open in the flat, and taken down in the open field was Ronald Butler, but he sat down about 10 yards up the field. An easy pitch and catch, and it moves the chains, 1st down for the Sharks.
I mean, it's a good job by everyone involved right there, trying to see what happened. Good catch, good run. But was wide open, was able to sit down and just catch this football, was wide open. It looked like Chris Cuola was going to go down here. He was able to step up, make a throw, nice target. Able to create it, didn't create the extra yards, but didn't lose a ton either. So really good throw by Chris Cuola. Way to stay settled in the pocket.
Yeah, we have another timeout here on the field, and so we are going to give you a little bit of an advertisement here as we let you know that you can gear up like a Shark this season. And of course the Sharks merchandise is available now, so you can grab that phone or grab somebody else's phone if you're watching this on your phone and scan that code. Of course, you can visit Jersey Sharks website as well. Lots of items there. We hope that you'll gear up like a Shark and visit their merchandising on their website. And of course, all the proceeds go to support this great Jersey Sharks organization and what they are able to do. And part of what they're able to do, John, is bring us here at this great facility here at Edison Jets Field. Wish you guys can really see the operation that we have going on here. It's really gorgeous. This field has come such a long way.
And obviously, you want the viewers on the PDF Sports Network, and everybody get trying to just check everything. But I mean, obviously, encourage you to come out to the games too, because it's always a great experience, and they've got a great staff here too. It's always a good time.
Chris Colo, 5-step drop. He's got some time, throws, and a good defensive play made in the middle of the field that time by Lawrence Miller. Got his hand on it against Butler, the intended receiver. It's a nice play defensively.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to see if we can get a look at it too. But really good job getting in there late. Was able to get in there. I mean, again, you also bait the throw from the quarterback here too. You bait him to try to get him in there and give that a chance to. You want the quarterback to throw the football your way. If you know you can make a play on it, you get right in there. Chris Cole, it looked open, right? It looked open from the initial play of that. And you get baited, you throw the football, and you get any completion, you keep going.
And as good as the running game has been, you might, the run is on the table here on 2nd down and long as well, as Jersey again spreads him out wide, but it is Jones in the backfield with Chris Culo. Piranha do creep up to the line as well. They've got 4 down linemen. They send a 5th rusher in, and it's a pass into the flat to Jones. Will need to make at least one guy miss, and does. Goes forward for about 4 or 5 on the play. We'll look to see where they spot it. It's a modest gain of about 3 instead, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, again, another one of those plays where Jones is able to make a defender miss and creates yardage out of a play that you think is going to be a loss. So good job by Jones, but still a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and John, I think we need to make an executive decision and take the clock off the board.
I think so.
Because it hasn't moved in a long time, and there certainly wasn't 3 minutes. There weren't 3 minutes left either. No. So we're gonna take that off, and we'll figure out how in just a moment. No, that's not. Yeah.
All right, I won't touch it.
Yeah. Can red X that, and then we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
Big rush on the play. They work it out in the flat and bounced by his own teammate that time was Butler, and he is dead to rights. He's going to be taken down about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that play just didn't really have much of a chance there as it goes backwards, and it looks like the punt team is coming in.
Yeah, I'd imagine the punt team would want to go in there. As we'll let the master of the huddle production truck program get in there and see how that works. So, yeah, we made the executive decision. The clock is no more. It was a good start.
Well, yeah, except for the fact that it started with 20.
Yeah, it wasn't a good start. It was a good thought. But coming into this game, you think it's a 20-minute pregame clock. You let that run, but things happen.
Yeah. So on 4th down and 12, we're going to see the first punt of the game for the Jersey Sharks, and Chris Criscuolo is the one who will do the punting as well. Of course, Josue Hernandez is the place kicker on this team, but we have seen Criscuolo punt before.
Yeah, this team doesn't punt a lot.
Right.
This Jersey Sharks team. So they love to go for it. They love to be aggressive, but Criscuolo has been punting for a while now at this point.
A lot of late substitutions coming into the game for Central Penn as well, so see if, remember, they cannot call a timeout either. Decent snap. Criscuolo gets into one with the right leg. It is a very, very good punt. It ends up at about the 30-yard line, takes a shark bounce. Central Penn getting near it, but it is downed at the 29-yard line. First to touch it was Will Simpson, and that's where Central Penn will take over 1st and 10. They needed a stop, John, and they got one there.
They did. They're right in this one. We're not too sure exactly how much time they'll have because we have gotten a good ways into the second quarter.
I would say we're easily into the second half of the second quarter.
I would say so.
But again, the clock kind of stopped on us, and official clock is being kept on the field regardless. So we'll have to see.
If I had to take a wild guess, and I'm probably wrong, but I'd say there's probably about 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Based on feel, but who knows? I mean, we'll find out. We'll let you know when the whistle happens, and we haven't heard the 2-minute warning yet.
Right,
so obviously, once we get the 2-minute warning, we'll have a better idea. But the clock that was on the field did not happen.
So the Central Penn Piranha went 3 and out on their first drive. They fumbled on their second drive. They scored, and then were held to a punt on their last drive. So we've seen a little bit of everything from them here, but Jersey Sharks defense, really with the exception of one big play, they've really stood up against this Piranha offense, which started the game out running the football, but have since relied on the arm and legs of Devin Myers Sr. Now stepping up in the pocket, that is not Myers anymore, that is Tarir Mills, and he puts that one short at the laces of his intended wide receiver, Shakur Ham-Brown. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, interesting. And we've seen some players get subbed out even at quarterback. We saw the Sharks try to make some things happen with the quarterback change as well, just try to throw some mixed plays in there with 2 quarterbacks in. But interesting to see what the Piranha's game plan here is.
Yeah, and of course, like you mentioned, we guess about 4.5 minutes left when they start the show. So time is not a factor here. If you're Central Penn Piranha, you can do really whatever you wish, go down the field methodically. Don't need that huge play. But on 2nd and 10, they'll want to cut the distance off here. Big pressure and down the field, and that one too elevated. As they tried to drop it in that zone, coming in and crashing down on that play was the safety on the play, Marshall Young for the Sharks. But good idea there, and if that ball is thrown a little bit sooner in that window, we might have a big play here for the Piranha.
Yeah, it's a good effort. It almost touched his hands right there, too, but wasn't in a play where you could get it. But also for the Sharks defensive backs, right? They're able to crowd to that route. Good safety help on the outside there was able to make that difficult to throw initially, and a tough catch. And some receivers could go up and get that ball. Just might have been a bit too high, not as much touch as you wanted that ball, but good defense defensively for the secondary.
Yeah, James Bethea got good pressure on that last play. He's out of the game, I believe, on this play here. Sharks will go with 4 down linemen against 4 wide receivers here on this big 3rd and 10 here for Central Penn. They don't bring any extra rush here. They look to go near sideline, and everybody meets at the ball. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Miller, and 2 Sharks had a go at it as well. And getting up a little late on the play was the man who probably had the best angle at it, and that was number 31, Deshaun Dulce. Almost made a play on it. And on 4th and 10 now. And again, remember, Central Penn does not have any more timeouts here, as we'll get a chance to see it here. But this is a jump ball. And 3 there, and you could see the collision there.
Yeah, looked at the arm, he was holding his arm after that one. It might have got a bit twisted there after that.
Yeah, DeMille Bowles, the safety, also had a chance at that one as well.
Yeah, that was one of those balls that you think is going to be an interception. Receiver did a good job just disrupting that. But that very easily could have been intercepted if the ball came in a bit quicker.
Punting has been good in this game for Central Penn. Unfortunately, we do not have a name for Central Penn player wearing number 27, but he's done a pretty good job with these punts. This one is sky high again. I don't believe there'll be a chance, and that hit one of the players. And did it hit the Sharks player? If so, it is going to be Central Penn ball, and it is. That's what happens on those short punts, John. We're going to get another look at it. We'll slow it down as well to get a good look at who touched this, and how about that for a big break for Central Penn and a tough one for the Sharks.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a good punt, all things considered, and we'll see exactly. I want to see if we can get a slower look. He was looking for this block initially. I'm not sure if that touched him.
Right in the shoulder pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one hit Kareem Stewart right in the shoulder pad, and wow, talk about some tough luck on that one, as that one was only about 25 yards in the air, but just a tough break. And as tough a break as it is for the Sharks, it's a big break for Central Penn, and let's see what they can do with it. Yeah, it kind of bounced like a pinball.
It looked like it bounced off of the Piranha player into the Shark player.
In which case it would have been just downed.
Right, I think that should have been down.
Right, so they don't have replay here, as coming out, Mills now becomes a runner and scampers out of bounds just inside Jersey Sharks area of the field. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if that's a play you can review, even if you did have that benefit either. But I don't want to guarantee that. But.
Right. But either way, great job by you showing it down and illustrating that, because upon further review, that becomes a really tough break, because this should be Jersey Sharks ball.
And that's one of those rules that you don't think about too often, because you never see anything like that. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, they gave him an extra yard on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 5 here, as they give him the 48-yard line of the Sharks. And again, the new quarterback of record is Tarir Mills for Central Penn, as he is splitting time with Devin Myers Sr. A critical drive here for Central Penn, looking to scratch their way back into this game. They're down by 14. They've been down by 14 before. Mills again on the run. 360s out, big block, and that's going to be a block in the back, and it's coming back. There's the throw down the field, incomplete. Actually, it was complete, but this is going to come back, John, and we saw it right on the screen. Pretty easy to pick up. There was a block in the back there as Mills was pirouetting in the backfield.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, did you see a flag?
Yeah, it's sitting right there at the 38-yard line. It's off your screen right now. And
take a look.
Yeah, our official is off the screen as well. But take a look there. I believe we're going to see
pretty
a
obvious.
Yeah, bingo, right
see
there.
This catch, too, is
easy.
still impressive. Nonetheless, what a snag. I thought he dropped this ball.
Yeah, so did I. I saw some materials come flying out of there. Yeah. But no, that's Lawrence Miller, who made a really nice catch. So, but it'll go backwards, and it'll be a 2nd and 15 instead.
Right.
And actually, I think they moved this back 15 yards.
I think it was,
yeah. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 20. That was a 15-yard personal foul penalty.
Wow. They must have called an unnecessary roughness penalty on that as well.
Yeah, I think so.
One of those personal fouls. And
like hit against the defenseless player was probably the call there, because that was the right call. I mean, that was squarely in the back. That's a tough break. It eliminates about a 30-yard gain on the play, a 25-yard gain on the play, so it ends up being about a 35-yard loss in terms of real estate.
Right, he didn't have to make that block either.
No.
Space there, real estate there to make things happen.
And now we have a whistle here. As remember, the Piranha do not have any more timeouts left, but I think the coaching staff wants some sort of explanation as to why they are back 15 yards instead of the 10. And again, we can only speculate.
I didn't see a signal myself. Be a defensive player, so that would be the call. I'm just wondering how long of an explanation you may have here.
Yeah, and are you able to give one? Like, should that clock have been stopped, or should play have been stopped, I should say, because the clock has been stopped here in the facility.
It's been 3:26
Yeah, it's been 3:26 for a long time, so we abandoned the clock. All right, when we reset, 2nd down and 20 here. Mills, the quarterback with an empty backfield, is on the run again, pirouettes, and now races and has the line of scrimmage, so can no longer throw the ball, and he is going to be corralled out of bounds after a gain of about 4 again. So it'll be a 3rd down and long coming up. 3rd and 16 will be our next play. And again, it seems, at least with Mills anyway, and the pressure that's coming in from the Sharks, that it's really disrupting the natural flow of things materializing down the field. He's got to be really kind of an ad hoc way to do it. I think this is the 2-minute warning now, John.
Should be, yep.
Well, they said timeout Sharks on the PA, but I believe this is the 2-minute warning. I do not believe the Sharks have called the timeout here. So we are going to assume that this is the 2-minute warning, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. The 4.5 minutes left wouldn't have been a bad shout before either, I would say. But
yeah, I think you hit it.
I don't think this was I didn't see a timeout signal from my own 2 eyeballs. So.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at the white hat, and I didn't see any motion towards the Sharks. So,
if he's looking at the clock, didn't notice that it's been, hasn't moved in 10 minutes. Then.
Yeah. And I think, too, this is a big decision here for Central Penn, because obviously, look, I mean, you're down by 14. You'd love to extend this drive, but at the same time, the Sharks only have 2 timeouts left. In order to almost force them to use one here, you have to keep the ball on the ground or have a designed quarterback run here, stay in bounds, and force Jersey Sharks to use a timeout on 4th down and then punt it again. And you're only leaving the Sharks with about 60 to 90 seconds left in the game with only 1 timeout. So something to consider. Or do you high fly it down the field, look for the pass interference, look for the completion, and try to extend this drive?
Yeah, you've had chances down the field, but a lot of them have come when you get rushed, right? So this offensive line is not buying you a ton of time either because of how great this, Sharks defensive line has been. So it's interesting to see if they'll have enough time to develop a play down the field as well.
Good time this time. Mills being pressured, and the strip sack fumble ends up at the 30-yard line. Coming down with it were the Sharks, and they are going to have possession here inside the 30-yard line, inside of 2 minutes to go. And boy, that cannot have been any worse for the Piranha or any better for the Jersey Sharks.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Looks like he just lost his football as well. Just wasn't able to hold on to the ball.
Well, didn't see the pressure coming from the blind side, and you could see, coming in was Fisher and was able to strip it away. And a gorgeous job. And then coming down with it was Eric Marmoleos.
I think he might have poked this ball out, too. I kind of want to see that slower if he got a hand on this ball, because if so, that's beautiful defensive work.
Yeah. Fisher, you're saying, right?
Yeah, Fisher.
Yeah, I think undoubtedly. I think he came in there and kind of arm-barred down in on Mills. Good looks here by Alex Paramethis and John working the controls. Yeah, kind of like punched it out with the left hand.
That left hand came in and was able to just get that, right? That's an interesting way that you're taught when you do kind of strip sacks and strip tackles. You want to punch, look at the football, try to punch it out with the other hand while you make the tackle with your right and the rest of the body. So really good execution.
And now we have another long timeout here as well. So maybe this is the 2 minute. I'm lost now.
A little lost.
Yep. But either way, substitutions spill in for the Sharks.
2 minute warning would have been a longer timeout, I would think.
Yeah. But the Sharks will take over at the Piranha 26-yard line. And you know what? This might be the final play, John, because they are going to kick a field goal.
Has to be, right?
Josue Hernandez,
Sure, so that must have been, we must have ignored the 2 minute warning. And I guess, you know what? I'm going to call a timeout, Sharks.
And maybe it was the Sharks' timeout
let's
that
get rid of
last,
one.
just to force them to another play.
Let's burn a timeout.
Well, this will be a 43-yard field goal, and the longest one we've seen on PDF, I think, this season. The kick is up. It has distance, and it is good. Hernandez nails it, and the Sharks go up 23-6 on another great special teams play, this time off the leg of Josue Hernandez.
I mean, this was drilled They've absolutely drilled, and yep, everyone's heading off the field, so this will be the end of the first half, but just got it up, and this was good from a bit longer as well. Perfect kick, got it done. Might have had about 5 more yards to go there. Really good execution. Now the Sharks up by now an extra 3 points, 23 points for the Sharks. They're up by 20 points we're up by. So
right.
Great job by the Sharks in this first half.
Absolutely. So we are going to be at halftime here. So we are going to step out for just a moment. But before we do that, we will update our scoreboard if we can, John, and we'll get that situated. And then we'll take a little bit of an extended break here. We'll break for about 6 or 7 minutes to get you the full complement of sponsors here. We do want to tell you, folks, as the commercials are playing, take a look at our sponsors. Make sure that you frequent their establishments. Make sure you send them a shout out, thanking them, because these broadcasts only happen thanks to the great support of our sponsors. We are at halftime here. The Jersey Sharks, on a 43-yard field goal to end the half, have taken a 23-6 lead over the Central Penn Piranha. John and I will return in a few minutes. We're at halftime here in Edison, New Jersey. Stay with us.
Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's comfort provider since 1987. With over 100 factory-trained service and installation personnel and a fleet of over 100 vehicles, we are able to service our customers faster and more effectively than our competitors. Our team of customer care professionals are always on call for an in-home consultation. If you and your family are in need of an installation or service completed by expert technicians, done professionally and efficiently, you need Edison Heating and Cooling. It's what we do.
Representing a seriously injured person requires a lot of research and preparation, but it also means giving hope to the client.
Lombardi Law is always there for you whenever you need them. You can count on them at all times. Lombardi Law gave me hope when I had none.
When you hire the law firm of Lombardi & Lombardi, you're not just hiring one attorney. You're hiring the education, the knowledge, and the experience of all 10 attorneys in this law firm.
Lombardi & Lombardi, representing seriously injured clients since 1973.
Baba Milonga, no Baba Milonga. But don't get on over, kid. They put on the arms since they put out. Baba Milonga, Baba Milonga. Esta canción es para ti. Dime cómo le explico mi destino que no está ahí. Dime cómo guardé para desprenderme de este frenesí. De esta locura que siento por ti. Con esta química que se hace en mí. Y yo no puedo ver, yo no puedo ver. Nena, discúlpame si te ilusioné, yo no lo quise hacer. Yo sé que en el amor cuando es real eso te vuelve. Pero cómo olvidar tu piel y cómo olvidarte mujer. Yo no puedo caer, yo no puedo caer. Baby, no me gusta tanto último beso, sigue acordando. Haciéndotelo así.
Fusio chromotherapy lighting is a groundbreaking innovation from Bain Ultra. In the past, the lights were mounted on the surface of the bathtub. That is all history. Bain Ultra, as usual, came through and introduced LED lighting built into the walls of the bathtub. So when they are not in use, they're invisible. Once you activate or turn on, they shine through and they're translucent through the acrylic shell to give you that wonderful LED experience.
Attention, local businesses and professionals. Isn't it time to elevate your game? Now you can advertise your business or product on PDF Sports Network. Your ad will appear on all of our broadcasts, including this one. Don't have a commercial? We'll make one for you, absolutely free. What better way to showcase your product and brand while supporting the best local sports, teams, and leagues? Call now at 732-723-8189 or visit us at pdfsportsnet.com. We are back here. It's halftime. Jersey Sharks up ahead 23-6. We are going to bring you to the field for what we hope to be a Hall of Fame celebration here for the Jersey Sharks. But while that is happening, or before that is happening, and they do that, John, what were some of your impressions here of the first half?
I mean, it's a Sharks team that, the mentality obviously was you have to kind of not be lackadaisical. You have to kind of lock back in and understand the stakes of every game that you play in. And guys that were kind of mailing it in aren't mailing it in today at all for the Jersey Sharks. This is a team that's ready to run, ready to play. They did exactly what Coach Lumoro wanted to do, was run the football early, establish that, and they made some big plays out of it as well. So this is a team that kind of did exactly what they wanted to do, knew what they wanted to do, and have executed really well so far today, and still a half to go. But it's a really good sign when you look at a team that's a defending champion, has a ton of aspirations going forward, and it's good to see that a team can rebound, right? Because Central Penn, they did a really good job in their first week. They won 34-0. They're clearly no slouch. So really good job by the Sharks to get back in here and really put on a good performance in the first half.
Yeah, and conversely, John, if you're the Central Penn Piranha, obviously you have to keep the Sharks at bay here and try to keep them at 23. Maybe you can afford to give up a couple of more points, but they really only had the one big dynamic offensive play, and that was the 48-yard touchdown run. Other than that, they've been pretty much controlled here in this game. How do you get that offense uncorked if you're the Piranha?
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's starting with the offensive line, right? Because this Jersey, what's made Jersey so good is their defensive line has gotten a ton of pressure against Central Penn. Their quarterback has had to run all over the place and make some plays, and he has made plays, but these 6 points are only because of one of the most wild plays that we've seen in the MLF over the last couple of years, because he was able to kind of spin around and find some room, and it was lazy tackling at the end of that play, and there has not been any lazy tackling since that play. So it's one of those games and one of those moments where, again, it's a fairly close game, winnable game for the Piranha, but they still have a lot to happen here. And I think we're going to get this celebration coming up in a second here.
All right, so John, what we will do is we will go off the air and we will turn it over to our public address system, who are going to announce some of our Hall of Fame honorees here in this one. So we're going to throw it to the public address.
In the small pockets, the small pockets, there's a receiver like a skinny thing. No. It's a small thing. It's like a little thing that plugs in the back. I'm coming. I'm coming.
You want it? Okay.
You sure they did?
Well, they're not working. I mean, test. 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 Jesus, Lord have mercy. Check.
We are going to record this thing that they're doing here, so just, keep it focused on them.
Dear fans and supporters, we are proud to announce our first annual induction into the Jersey Sharks Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame recognizes those players and coaches whose commitment, leadership, and excellence have shaped our team and community. These individuals embody the values of hard work, sportsmanship, and dedication that define what the Jersey Sharks are all about. During their time with the Sharks, they redefined excellence on the field, unforgettable moments, and led the Jersey Sharks through some of our most memorable seasons. These men showed true leadership in our community and set a high standard for every teammate. What they brought to the Jersey Sharks football program is honor, commitment, family values, and some of the best football around. And now, the inductees into the 2026 class of the Jersey Sharks Hall of Fame. Deshaun Lewis. Deshaun was the ultimate student of the game. From the moment he stepped onto the field, he played with a rare combination of instincts, toughness, and intelligence. Whether shooting blocks to make a tackle in the backfield or dropping back into coverage, Deshaun displayed a warrior attitude. After his retirement from football, Deshaun became a coach for the Sharks as a defensive coordinator that helped the Sharks win the 2023 League of All-League Championship and the 2024 National Championship. career. Anthony Miller. As a defensive back, Anthony Miller was known for his lockdown coverage, instinctive ball awareness, and relentless pursuit. He consistently shut down opposing offenses and changed the momentum of games with timely interceptions and pass breakups. His technique, positioning, footwork, and press coverage set a standard for peers and young defensive backs. A reliable tackler in run support and a leader in the secondary, he anchored defensive schemes and mentored teammates on film study and situational preparation. His clutch performances in critical moments earned him his Hall of Fame honors. Congratulations, Anthony Miller. C.J. Parks, the Hitman, earned Hall of Fame honors with his exceptional skills and unwavering leadership as a safety. On the field, his instincts and range allowed him to patrol the deep zones with authority, turning coverage into opportunity and rarely giving quarterbacks an easy target. As a tackler, he combined sound technique with physicality, consistently closing space and delivering game-changing stops. Off the field, his leadership was equally decisive as a defensive quarterback. Coaches trusted him to make critical on-field adjustments during games. Teammates relied on him in high-pressure moments. His hits on anyone who caught the ball made the receiver think twice about catching a pass in his area. CJ set a standard for preparation, professionalism, and a high football IQ. Congratulations, C.J. Parks. Jose Ventura, an elite pass rusher as a defensive end. From his first snap as a semi-pro prospect to the final game of his storied career, he exemplified speed and redefined what it meant to be an edge rusher. His combination of explosive acceleration, sudden change of direction, and relentless motor made him a matchup nightmare for any offensive tackle. Opposing teams saw a player who could both threaten the backfield on pure speed rushes and set edge against the run. An uncommon blend that translated into consistent pressure and sustained disruption. After his retirement from football, Jose joined the Jersey Sharks as a general manager, vice president of player operations, and media technician. Congratulations to Jose Ventura. Induction into the Sharks Football Hall of Fame as a quarterback is attributed to a career defined by leadership, toughness, precision, and the ability to rise above adversity. Many combine football intelligence with elite arm strength, consistently making the right reads and delivering under pressure. His poise in the pocket was unmatched, and when needed, he used his speed and athleticism to escape a possible sack and run free yardage. He set a standard for what it means to play quarterback at a high level. His Hall of Fame inductions is well earned. Congratulations to Manny on an extraordinary career. Robert Cheese Jr. Robert's induction into the Sharks Hall of Fame as a running back is a celebration of a career defined by explosive plays, vision, and consistency. With the ball in his hands, he was a and one of the hardest players to take down one-on-one. He was both a workhorse and a game changer. Beyond the stats, his leadership, toughness, and competitive spirit set him apart. His Hall of Fame induction is a well-deserved honor for one of the more dynamic and impactful players to carry the football. Congratulations, Robert, on your well-deserved achievement. Nadir's induction into the Football Hall of Fame marks a culmination of a remarkable career, defined by dedication, resiliency, and excellence on the field of play. His consistent play made him one of the most reliable and versatile players on the defense, as he played multiple roles and played each one well. His play elevated his teammates and inspired those around him. This honor is a testament to his hard work and the lasting mark he has left on the Jersey Sharks. Congratulations to Nadir on his well-deserved recognition. Trevor Jackson, the Great White, as he was affectionately known by his Shark teammates. His induction into the Sharks Hall of Fame as a defensive tackle is a powerful testament of a career built in the trenches, where toughness, intelligence, and a relentless effort are what define his greatness. Trevor became known for his ability to disrupt offenses by becoming an elite run stopper and excellent pass rusher. He established himself as the cornerstone of the defense, earning respect not only for his physical appearance, but also for his leadership qualities. His performance in the biggest moments was unmatched and helped shape the outcome of countless games. More than just a standout player, he was loved by his teammates and coaches and was an integral part of a culture built on them. His Hall of Fame induction is a well-earned tribute. Congratulations to the Great White, Trevor Jackson. Once again, congratulations to all of our inaugural Jersey Sharks 2026 Hall of Fame inductees.
All right, that was coverage of the inaugural 2026 Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the Jersey Sharks. Great chance to highlight those guys. They're being greeted by some of the current players on the team. And, you know, John, we say often here on PDF that we get a chance to cover some really outstanding organizations, leagues and organizations. The Jersey Sharks are really at the top of that list. They really do things the right way. And even something like this, you don't see it happen a lot in semi-pro football in this area where you're honoring your past leadership. And, in order to be a Hall of Fame player, you have to have longevity with the team for a long time. And we saw with a lot of these players, they gave a lot of years of service to the Sharks team. And what an outstanding gesture by the organization to honor them by placing them in their first ever Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's an honor, and it's a big class as well to kind of get things rolling there, but it shows that this is an organization that has a lot of loyalty, a lot of people that just care about everything. They talked about the community aspect of this organization as well. So it's just a testament to how quality the organization is and what they've been able to do as an organization and develop. So it's great for them to be able to do that.
Yeah, and what a perfect segue then to let you know about how to become a Jersey Shark. And, we saw something on social media actually with somebody coming in and asking, how do I become a part of the Sharks? But the Sharks are recruiting for 2026 right now and beyond. So if you are interested in joining the Jersey Sharks for the 2026 season, whether it's a player, a coach, a talented individual, someone associated with the team, you can apply by scanning the QR code or by visiting the Sharks at their website, of course. Connect with them, and they are always looking for the next set of Sharks to join the team. And, of course, this is a championship organization. So grateful for the Sharks and what they've done. And that leads us right into our second half of play, where the Jersey Sharks will get the ball first with a 17-point lead. It's 23-6. Sharks with 3 touchdowns and a field goal in the first half. 2 out of those 3 touchdowns came with 1 point extra points. And for the Piranha, a singular play, 48-yard touchdown scamper by Devin Myers accounts for the 6 points on the scoreboard for them, and they will kick off first. A huge spot here to start the second half. A line drive squib kick that ends up at the feet of Butler at the 15-yard line. And Butler with a move and with speed, and Butler was one tackler away from taking it home. Shoestring tackle by number 7 for Central Penn. Not on our roster, but the Jersey Sharks are in business on Central Penn's side of the field.
Yeah, it's a great run, and you thought he was going to get tackled a lot earlier than that, but that burst of speed just worked out. Catches it on the roll and the bounce there and just finds that second gear. Good blocking out in front. There was a big hit before that as well. Just got brought down by the legs. Could have got an extra 10 yards there, but a good tackle as well for the Central Penn squad. But that's how you start a second half.
And the best part about that, no flags on the play, as the Sharks will start at the Central Penn 39-yard line. Ronald Butler with the great return. And we'll see who the Sharks send out there here to start the second half. It will be Chris Culo. We did see Mateo Rodriguez for a couple of snaps in the second quarter as well. And I believe that is Rob Jackson starting at running back here to start the second. No, it's not. It's actually Stephen Jones who comes back out there as he did in the first half. Otherwise, 4 wide for the Sharks, but they hand it off underneath to Jones. Jones slips out of a tackle. There's a flag down, and scampering up the sideline, gets about 6 or 7, but that flag comes in the vicinity of holding, John.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to be a holding call, and yep, that's going to be the call right here. So that backs everything up. Stay first and 20, but it was still a good run by Jones to get out there. But those are the mistakes early, right? You give up a run, you get a good return, and then you make a mistake holding call. So it kind of backs up the return that you got a little bit. You still have good field position, but now you've got 20 yards to make go.
Yep. Special thanks to Joey in the chat who dropped us a scoring update from the Seminoles-Hurricanes game. The Seminoles up 12-0 at halftime there. So a couple of scores for Brooklyn. And a battle of 1-0 teams in the Northern Division of the MLS Elite, who will have supremacy after this week. Could be sole possession of first place unless Central Penn is able to come back in this one.
Right, we're looking at like a top 3 that involves those 2 teams and the Sharks kind of battling things out now. So we're starting to see the picture of what this MLS is going to look like.
So first down and 20 following the holding call. Giroux will be in motion. The flip to him. He finds a lane and gets it close to the original line of scrimmage. Might be a yard short of that. We'll call it second down and 11 or 12, depending where they put this ball down. Closer to 12 to go here, but a nice play on first down and 20.
Yeah, it felt like 8 yards to me, but still a good play. Still able to get out there and get some yardage, get a big chunk of that back, right? So now and this is fourth down territory, obviously, for the Sharks team, just what they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Still safe, but they've really got 4 plays to work with to get 12 yards. If they can keep this run moving and get some yardage on the ground, they have a good chance. That's a good start for the Sharks offense.
Yeah, we saw Central Penn run that play, and they fumbled on the play, but that's the difference. When you shuffle it forward, that would have been an incomplete pass had that not been received well by Giroux. But on second down and 12, Brisculo will send Giroux in motion again, and that never got there, or that ball is still down. And where is it, actually?
It was never moved.
It was never snapped, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be, I guess, snap infraction.
Yeah, and it was Darnell Norman who stayed in place, and so they'll back up 5 yards and make it a 2nd and 17. So
Can I take a look?
Everybody got the memo except for Norman. See, yeah, he never snapped it. He never snapped it. And he kind of just left it there.
Yeah. The official call is, I guess, false start.
Yeah,
Everyone but the center.
Right.
Well, what, second down to 17, you said, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
it's like a 16-17.
Yeah, about. We'll just go 17.
Close enough. Four wide receivers again, same formation here, and again, Saru is in motion. Oh, and from behind, Criscolo got taken down and unfortunately couldn't deliver one to Saru. That was dangerous as the rush came in, a missed block, and came in low on Crisculo, but he could have been really lit up.
I was going to say, yeah. It looked like that was a play that he's going to get lit up and sacked, and probably a strip sack, but was able to just move to his right a little bit. Might not have even sensed the guy.
Right, yeah.
But was still able to go out and make that play. And he got enough on it, especially after almost being brought down there. Just receiver wasn't able to make that catch.
Yeah, and now perhaps if the Sharks are not able to cut into this distance here, maybe they would punt on a 4th and 17. So this is a big play here on third down, even to cut into the distance of yards to go on a drive that started at the 39-yard line following the great kickoff return. They've gone backwards. Crisculo changing things up at the line of scrimmage, it seems. 4 wide receivers in. Butler and Fisher are the 2 in the slot. Simmons down low. Saru up high. The Piranhas coming in on a blitz with 1 extra rusher. They work it towards the sideline. Fisher makes the catch, and they get about 10 yards on the play, John. But again, it'll set up a 4th and more manageable here. Let's call it 6, 7, 8 yards to go here. 4th down and 8. And from the 37-yard line, the Sharks will not move anybody from the sidelines in, so they are going for it here on 4th and 8.
Yeah, might as well. I was going to say, I think the range of what they would go for was anything within 8 yards, and here they are at 4th and 8. So about the max range, you think that they'd say, you know what, we're just still going to go for it. Why not? Probably even 4th and 9, they would still do it. So this is a big play. I mean, again, you see the score is it's a decent gap, but you give the Piranha a good chance till the beginning of the third quarter here. Could be a big play.
Interested to see if the Piranha will send extra pressure here. They have been getting into that pocket, but it looks like right now they only show the 4. A little bit of a jump there. It's only 4 coming in. They go towards the near sideline. Simmons is there to make the catch and is pushed out of bounds inside the 10. 1st and goal coming up for the Sharks.
If you need a play, just go find Todd Simmons and let him make it happen. He gets open, good route. And we'll see this throw by Crisculo as well. A really good target.
Wow, and press coverage to start. And I don't know if that's the way you want to start against Simmons. He had that one quick move, and he was behind the defensive back on that play. And so it'll be a 1st down and goal from just inside the 10. The give is to Jones. There's a flag down on the opposite side of the field. May have had a jump there. Jones got to about the 5, but we'll see what the result of this call is. We'll take a look at the white hat, and it will be a defensive infraction. So make it 1st and goal again, only half the distance, and you'll have it 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, so you just get a free play there, basically. And, yeah, that gets you a lot closer, and now the Sharks are in business quite a bit more. So I'd expect Jones to just get the ball 3 times.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they've had such good success running the football, the Sharks. It's almost been overshadowed by the big plays that they've had in the passing game. But, John, really, realistically, you know, I don't know if they've been handed a loss on a running play today, and most of their runs have gone for 5+ easily.
Yeah, and you take out Fisher and you get the big fella tight end, Justin Hayes, in the backfield. Looks like now he's going to line up at the line.
Right.
So this is definitely a run look here.
Butler is the only wide receiver up high on your screen. Simmons down low. And in the slot, you have Justin Sanders. Crisculo making some changes, but the give is to Jones. Jones strings it out towards the left side. Good tackle made past the, just inside the 10, I should say, by number 7, who we do not have on our roster. But flowers to him for making the good open field tackle. And the Sharks get backed up right for where they were originally, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 10.
Yeah, Jones trying to bounce. Just really good wrap up right around that ankle right there. Jones knew exactly what just happened when he got tackled. Really good work by this Piranha secondary on the tackle there.
Yeah, I said the 10. They're actually at the 8-yard line, so right at the top of the soccer goal box there, the 18-yard box as they call it.
Yeah.
And the Sharks will have 2nd and goal from the 8. But going back to that big 4th down conversion, John, it doesn't happen if you don't make that play on 3rd down to really cut the distance in half. Making some plays. Here we go on 2nd and goal. Criscuolo, right behind them was Jones. The fake to him. Criscuolo taking it himself. Flag is down. Criscuolo takes a shot at the 10-yard line for a short loss. Lawrence Miller did the honors. And we'll have to get the result of this next flag here. Came out right away. And it will be a hold on the Sharks. And here's an interesting decision, John. Do you make it a 3rd and goal from the 10 or a 2nd and goal from the 18? I think they're going to back the Sharks up.
Yeah, definitely they're going to back those Sharks up. And because also you have a field goal, but also the Sharks are going to go for it, and no matter what, basically. Especially at this point, 2nd down, if they're goal to go, they're probably going to go out and try to go for it in any situation. So at this point, just back them up and force their hand there. Immediate call on that hold as well. And yeah, Criscuolo took a pretty good shot there.
Yeah, he did.
That play.
It looked like a designed run from the jump, too. But this ball spotted at about the 19-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 19. And again, the Sharks obviously have a kicking game, so they could elect to kick a field goal on 4th down, but they'll have 2 downs to try and punch this one into the red. Jones is to the left of Criscuolo. Simmons, the lone wide receiver on the near side of your screen, just outside your screen. Criscuolo looks left side, now turns to his right, on the run, the throw towards the sideline to Simmons. He makes the catch at about the 12-yard line. Clock continues to run. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 12 after the gain of about 7.
Yeah, good job by Simmons. And again, you need a play, you go right to him. And a really good job. It's not an easy play as a receiver to make this kind of catch on the sideline and just kind of stay and keep your balance and stay in bounds and make a nice catch. So the guy's gotten professional looks before, Simmons. I mean,
yeah,
really great work. But still a lot of distance to go here for the Sharks offense. But now they've really put themselves back in a position where 4-down territory still makes sense, especially if you can get some yardage on this play.
Lance Fisher has checked into the game, replacing Justin Hayes. We'll see where Fisher ends up. He's ended up in the slot to the left of Simmons as they go 3 wide on the near side. Sanders lined up closer to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down and goal, they look opposite end and making the catch. There are a couple of flags down, but otherwise the catch was made by Butler for a Sharks touchdown. But judging by the body language, this one's coming back.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see if we can see what the call is first, but it's an interesting one.
And they're talking it over. Two officials came out with the flags at the same time, and it's going to be a hold against the Sharks. So it indeed is coming back. It'll negate the touchdown, and instead it'll be a 3rd down and goal now from the 22-yard line. We'll see if we can pick it up. Well, there was a kind of a tackle made. What a catch by Butler. Very well contested. That's his 2nd one.
Right, I thought the penalty was going to be on the kind of situation there.
Yeah.
We'll see if
it happens off screen, though. It happens
down there. Yeah, right near the center.
Yeah, what a catch.
Great catch, though, yeah.
And again, it's not bad coverage either. It's just a good throw and a great catch by Butler. It's the 2nd time he's had a great one. But here we go. 3rd down and goal from the 22-yard line. The Sharks have been battling against themselves here and the flags on this drive. Can they inch a little closer to make it interesting on 4th down in a situation where they might go for it? Criscuolo, some pressure, looks towards the pylon, and it's out of bounds. The catch was made, but it was out of bounds by Butler, who lost his crown on the play as well. And we'll get another look at it. I'm sure John will slow it down for us as well, but they're going to bring Hernandez onto the field for another field goal try from about 40 yards out.
Yeah, at this point you kind of have to here, but we'll take a look and see exactly how this went.
No, he was out. It's a good. His rear end came down out of bounds when he elevated off of his feet, but I'll tell you what, another heck of a catch. As Butler, if it's in his orbit, he's proven that he'll come down with it.
I'm going to get this another look.
Sure.
He definitely might have been a lot closer than it seems.
Yeah, it just looked like he leaves his feet, John.
Yeah, again, 1 foot in the MLF.
Yeah, you just don't have possession until he left his feet. Let me see here. A lot of hand fighting there. Yeah,
that's tough.
I have to agree with the call, however. But Josue Hernandez from 40 yards out, he's hit on 2 for 3 extra points, and he nailed a 43-yarder right before the half. Rodriguez with the hold. It's a low snap, and the kick is blocked. And it is taken by the Central Penn Piranha, and there is some room here on the near side. They'll have to stay in bounds, but this is a live ball, and tiptoeing down the sideline, and all the way in for 6 the other way, Darren Gardner. And the Central Penn Piranhas are right back in the game.
That is unbelievable. Everything that you could do right in defending a kick on special teams just happened for the Piranha. Times this perfectly to get over. It's not a penalty. Get the block and then let the big boys block for you. Good block right there. A double block, push him down. I don't think he stepped out of bounds here either. He might have to slow that down. Gets another block on 4, and it's just all the way. Extra block for fun. And that is a beautiful, beautiful run. I mean, that is special teams to a T.
Wow, and if you are a Sharks fan, you have to be absolutely sick about that because you have a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line to start that drive and, start that goal-to-goal situation anyway, and it ends up like this. And we're taking a look at those feet. Great look from our...
so close.
Yeah. Great look from our camera operator, Alex Paramethis, and John for slowing it down. Great job.
He stayed in.
So just like that, the Piranha find themselves back in, and now with a chance here for 2 points, can put themselves to within 9 on what started as a play where the Sharks were looking to go up by an even 20.
Yeah, now you've got quite the game here.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
Again, and we slowed it down. There was, I thought initially maybe around the 45 he might have went out of bounds, but no, he stayed in bounds and got it done. I mean, that was great football.
Yeah, great look too.
Yeah, but now the Sharks, again, you'll have to respond. They'll still, if this goes in, well, now they're going to go for 2 here too.
Yes, they'll go for the 2, and I believe that is Mills in, or is that back at Myers in at quarterback? It is Myers. Yep. Myers has the wheels. Will throw it, though, in the end zone, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion. Successful by Daquan McCraw, who came down with it. So add a 2 spot on the board for the Piranha, and they are down by 9, 23-14 here in the 3rd.
Yeah, still a 2-possession game, so room to work with for the Sharks. But, I mean, this is a game that we were looking at this. The Sharks were right at the goal line. They had goal to go inside the 10, and you're thinking they're going to score again or get another kick and just go up by more. And now the Piranha have made this a 9-point game after a great special teams play. That's just how quickly football can flip.
Yeah. And, you look back at the penalties for the Sharks. It negated a touchdown on that drive. The holding call did, the Ronald Butler catch. And let's just say the Sharks did score on that drive. We would have a 30-6 game here, and we might be talking about how bad can this get out of hand. Instead, we have got a ball game here, folks. 23-14. Sharks will get the ball back here, but this game turned on its head a little bit.
Right. We were again, that play away basically from going, okay, now the Sharks, they can get a stop, get the ball back, and start running some more clock here. And now for the Sharks, you still have to be a lot more aggressive offensively because now the Piranha can have some. I mean, their 2 touchdowns, this Piranha team, their first touchdown was on one of the wildest runs we've seen.
Right, sure.
And now their second touchdown is on that.
Right.
So the Piranha have just gotten some great plays and some magical plays. But one thing you definitely want to look for, now we have it's like a penalty.
Yeah, everything has happened after the 2-point conversion.
Right.
We're going to have some personal fouls. And hot under the collar is Kareem Stewart, and he has to be kind of roped off by some of his coaching staff and fellow peers. But I wonder, I didn't see the ejection sign, John. I didn't see that. So if that was a personal foul on him, it's his first for conduct. And
yeah, we don't have to replay the 2-point conversions. Everything must happen after as well. So
But it's important for the Sharks here to keep their cool as well. They're still up, like you said, by 2 scores. So this game, while it's gotten a lot closer here, the Sharks are still very much in control. And you don't want to break down emotionally here when you're still up on the scoreboard, especially when you've had the ball the entire third quarter as well.
Sharks Hall of Famer not happy as well on the field. But and being frustrated in that sense can also lead to penalties, can lead to mistakes, just beyond the 15-yard penalties and potential ejections, right? Just having that kind of mindset and that kind of vibe in your camp here can kind of lead to those penalties that have already hurt the Sharks in this game a lot. So it's all about keeping your composure as well on this sideline. Again, now the Sharks players are kind of realizing that looks like Darryl Kennedy kind of giving everyone, hey, guys, calm down.
Let's go. Reset.
Let's relax.
Yeah,
We're still up by 9, 2 possessions. Let's play our game and get out of here with a win.
Yeah.
Because they're still very much in a great position to do that.
Yeah, and it's really the only negative mark against the Sharks in this game so far, John, has been the penalties. I mean, they have cost them some field positioning. They've taken points off the board, and now Central Penn is going to be able to kick off from the 50-yard line. So if they're able to keep this in the field of play, the Sharks might be, deep in their own end as well. So that's the only real negative that we've seen from this Sharks team so far tonight. And really because, defensively they only gave up really the one big play. It just happened to go for 6 points, but it was a big one. And special teams has been huge in this game, John. From the extra points, the Sharks, that big field goal before halftime is making this a 2-score game right now instead of just a 1-score game. And now you have a touchdown off of a blocked field goal as well. Special teams playing huge dividends in this game for both teams. And now on the short field, here comes the kickoff after the long delay, and the Sharks will see that go out of the end zone for the touchback. So all things considered, that is a very good outcome for the Sharks.
Yeah, about as good as you can get in that situation, and you definitely wanted to try to get, maybe not force a return, but make it a bit tough. But now the Sharks, again, this is where your leaders, you're going to tell how great your leaders are. Because if you're able to kind of keep your composure, not even saying score on this drive, but to get out of this drive by even still chewing enough clock, getting a successful drive, turning out a couple first downs, and continuing to win the field position battle like they have most of this game, you're going to see that their leaders have kind of stepped up and calmed everyone down here. So that's going to be important.
Yeah, and if you're the offense, you were obviously on the field for that stretch there with the 2-point conversion and the penalty, and I think it's important for them to understand, hey, we've done everything right as far as move the football. We converted a big 4th down there. The question is, how much are we going to beat ourselves on this drive with the penalties? I mean, just got to kind of clean that up. And otherwise, they should feel pretty comfortable about how they've been able to move the football. In fact, they're the only team that has had the ball in their hands of the offense in this second half, and they go right back to it here from their own 20-yard line, and the give is underneath to Jackson. Jackson pulls forward, a modest gain, about 3 or 4 on the play, and it will be 3 indeed, so it'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and that's the run you do to settle down everybody, right? Just run the ball. We still got to execute. We still got to get a good push and get a good run. You get a 3-yard run, right? So if you keep those going, you'll get a first down. That's exactly what you want to see out of the Sharks team. Again, they're still up by 9. Not a ton of the third quarter has expired here, so still plenty of time left in this football game.
Yeah.
But the Sharks definitely still want to control time of possession at this point.
We want to welcome our audience in who saw the New York Bears defeat the Brooklyn Pharaohs 35-12 from our second stream. Joe Foreman and Joe Calabrese with the call there, and hopefully that audience has moved over here for MLF Elite action here in Jersey. A flip pass in the middle of the field and caught, and off to the races is Butler again. Wow, deceptive speed from Butler in the open field. That's a nice, healthy gain over to the 47-yard line, gain of 24 on the play, and Jersey on the eve of the midfield stripe.
Yeah, really good catch and run, good pitch and run. Chris Culo able to settle down, able to get that flick out too. It was just a flip pass, and he does the rest right here, gets almost to midfield. Like you said, deceptive speed. Usually when these guys that are kind of shaped like Mack trucks at this point, they're usually not too fast. So, I mean, he had plenty of speed on that one. We've seen a lot of speed from him this game.
Yeah, Butler has basically caught everything that's been thrown at him and has also flashed that speed, just like we said. So here we go, 1st and 10, new set of downs. Bad snap. Chris Golo does well to track it down, gets it over to Simmons. Did he catch that? Yeah, seems like he did.
Yeah, I think so.
Right at the laces. Modest gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. But
that was almost disaster.
Yeah,
Jake.
I was going to say they averted disaster there as Central Penn came in hot on a blitz as well.
Yeah, they got a ton of pressure. It looked like that kind of led to the disruption here. And again, we'll slow this down at the end here to see if Simmons made this catch. But yeah, he definitely made that catch.
Yeah.
Caught it right under. And really good snag by Simmons. But again, a good job by Chris Culo to again, just stay settled in a situation like that and just find your guy. And if you got to throw the ball in the dirt, you throw the ball in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, number 1 is usually pretty open.
Piranha came in with an extra blitzer on that last play. They line up 4 on the line. We'll see if they send extra pressure. At least they're feigning it here, as stepping up to the line was Thomas Price. But now they back off as Chris Culo barking out some extra instructions. And here they come again. We have movement and flags are down. I believe this will be an encroachment against the defense. Oh, actually.
No, I think it's on the Sharks.
Well, the white hat said false start, and now he's going to be spoken to by the side judge because the side judge made the signal of encroachment.
Now we got to figure it out, boys.
This is happening off camera, but it is going to be encroachment against the defense. So it's going to be against Central Penn. That'll advance it 5 more yards. It'll make it a 2nd and more manageable 2 yards.
Yeah, that's a huge call at this point of the going. All right, you had a situation where you're before midfield. You got to stop, make it 3rd and 7. You got a shot to make them punt here. But now the Sharks are, this is a 2nd and 2 that they usually get.
So indeed, we have a 2nd down and 2, and you wonder if the Sharks will look to take the top off the defense here, knowing this is short distance, and air it out, because you could see, look at Central Penn crowding the box here. They do send extra pressure, but again, we have a false start this time against the Sharks. So give it and take it away.
Nothing happened.
Right. One big do-over.
Yeah.
2nd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, you basically waste time without wasting any game clock time at that point. So.
But it's, again, another example of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
You know, in a play where you have a 2nd and short, and let's see if this catches up to them here.
You gave yourself the opportunity of the century at that point, and now you lose that opportunity right after.
Yeah. And we haven't seen statistics really kept, but I think if we had to look at the penalty yards in this game, it would be, it would be up there for sure. So that one thrown underneath, and a good job, and making extra speed for himself. Sanders cuts it back in towards the hash marks, is inside the 15. Justin Sanders, I believe that's his first catch of the game, maybe his 2nd. He hasn't been targeted all that much. But another example, John, of what could have been a 3 or 4 yard gain. It goes for more, and I believe that's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Sounds about right, but really good. He avoided about 3 or 4 tackles right there. Good block up there as well. Cuts back inside, gets some extra yardage, and is finally brought down near the 15. Wow.
Yeah, and he ran into Justin Hayes, his own player as well, and he got dumped right out. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter here, and we are approaching the final 15. Central Penn's offense has not had the ball in this 2nd half, but the Sharks have seen a 17-point lead cut down to just 9 here at the end of 3.
Yeah, and again, we're going to talk about the missed opportunities for this team and the, kind of getting back at themselves and the penalties. But so far, the Sharks have found a way to settle in. They've gotten big plays to work, which has been huge. So, yeah, this is a Sharks team that, again, at the end of this game, we're definitely going to talk about the penalties.
Yeah.
But the recovery from the penalties right now has been solid.
Yeah.
And what they're able to do.
And I'll tell you what, John, PDF has been alive for 4 years, 4 years and a couple of months. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a team cut into a lead without having the ball after a quarter. So Central Penn's offense has not had the ball at all in the 2nd half, and they've turned a 17-point deficit into an 9-point deficit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting here. Now, that being said, the Sharks are knocking on the door again. They're inside the red zone at the 15-yard line. And we'll see if they can cap this drive with some points. Chris Culo and the pistol set, and that's a bad snap, and getting on top of it with a Piranha. And look at this, John. The Jersey Sharks have given it up on the first play of the 4th quarter. Another self-inflicted wound, and Central Penn is taking over.
So I lied about that part, about recovering from penalty, because, And now, for the first play of the fourth quarter, the offense gets the ball. And we'll take a look at exactly what happened here. But just miscues by this Sharks team.
Yeah, and at the end of every quarter, we've had, or at the beginning of the quarter, we've had some amazing plays. The first quarter, I think, ended on the touchdown run, right, by the Piranha. That was the 48-yard run. So that ended the first quarter. Ending the half was the 43-yard field goal by Hernandez. And now to start the fourth, we have a botched snap, or I guess a couple of players colliding right at the snap.
Yeah, we'll get one more look at it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's hard to tell,
I think
what
the
exactly
center
happened.
maybe went off a leg. I can't even tell. It went off his leg,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it went off his leg.
The left guard, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, they were bunched in so tight.
And now we got to,
Myers back into the game at quarterback for Central Penn. He played the first quarter. Now we have a flag down and a false start on Central Penn. And this game is getting really, really ugly with the mistakes here for both teams. That'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be a 1st and 15 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, from both sides. And the Sharks, we talk about the fumbles and the missed snaps here now. And, I mean, this is just an interesting football game. That could have very well been a Sharks blowout.
Yeah, at least that's the way it was trending here to start this third quarter. But Central Penn now just inside their own 10-yard line. They got to be careful here in this area of the field. Back to pass is Myers, but he is going to take off, rounds the corner, now throws one up, and it's incomplete. And I'll tell you what, all alone was Lawrence Miller in the middle of the field because the defensive back fell down on the play. John, I don't know if we could see the very end of that play.
Let's see what we got. I think we can get it. Yep.
It could have been just because the defensive back saw where the ball was going and left the area, but I saw Lawrence Miller wide open, and
he falls down.
Yeah, he falls down. But yeah, I think he was
chasing the ball.
Exactly. Yeah, so I kind of misread it there. But 2nd and 15 as a result of that.
Yeah, he's just frustrated because he thinks if I went to that ball earlier, if I read the quarterback earlier, I'm the one with the football at that point.
Yeah, our audience for this game has swelled a little bit after that Bears game went final with our colleagues Joe and Joe on the call there. So we've got a nice crowd here for this one, both in person and online. Thank you for joining us here. David Pizzuto along with John McCooch for this one. We start the fourth quarter, 2nd down and 15, and with a little bit of daylight and now caught up in the backfield was number 26, Ronald Burnett. Minimal carries in this game, but that one goes for a short loss. And we are looking at a 3rd and pretty long here coming up. 3rd and 17.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And this could have been dumped a lot earlier to this run. It seemed like it was going to be. He still was able to break a couple of tackles here. But again, still pursuit. Was able to just get that jersey and pull. A large distance left to go.
Yeah, so 3rd and 17 coming up. This is a big play here for Central Penn. Try to work out of the shadow of their own end zone here. Would not be surprised if you see Myers Sr. take off and run with this one on a design run perhaps, but now we have whistles coming up and we are going to get a signal perhaps for a timeout. Indeed, the Central Penn Piranha have called their first timeout here of the second half.
So in the last half, the Piranha used their timeouts, 2 of them in the first quarter.
Right.
They've saved enough of them, and now they use one at a key moment. I mean, this is a play for the game at this point, and if you're able to get a successful drive, it's the fourth quarter now, you can make this a one-possession game with even a field goal.
Right.
So, I mean, it doesn't seem like they're going to kick the ball at all in
right.
this game
yeah,
because
they haven't
they've been
shown
going for 2. But
the ability to do that yet at all. But yeah, John, there's still enough time in this game where they are going to get the ball twice, or at least, get the ball back again. So even if they have to punt this one, they can, but they are going to need to get some quick stops now because Jersey Sharks, really, I mean, they had all the time of possession in the third quarter, so that they've been stingy with giving the ball up. They haven't really been forced on any 3 and outs. So I think you're right. This is a really, really big play because I think if you're Central Penn, you're thinking we need to score on this drive because we're going to need to score again later in the quarter. And defensively, we really haven't been able to stop the Sharks unless they make some mistakes of their own. So on 3rd down and 17, a big play upcoming. The Sharks don't send extra pressure. Only 4 coming in, and in trouble is Myers. Gets rid of it, tipped up, intercepted. Touchdown, Sharks. Gilboyus Papali in there. Put the big mitten up, knocked it up in the air to himself, and takes it himself. And Jersey's defense on the board, 29-14 Sharks.
This is where mobility can get you in a pickle. This is kind of the mistakes you see from a quarterback that loves to make plays with his legs, loves to make things happen. And these are the situations that will come up, right? Because you think, I'm running, I have to throw the ball, and I'm in the end zone. I got to make a play happen, and you have to account for a defender able to make a play on it. And that's a great touch. Throws the heck out of the football. And, man, what a play for these Sharks.
And I'll tell you this, John, if Papali doesn't make that catch, I think Myers gets called for grounding because there was nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody in a gray jersey in the vicinity of that play.
Yeah, we'll see, because he's out of the pocket, I'd imagine, at this point. But
but
he's still got to get it back to the line.
Right, he doesn't get it back to the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage is at the 8-yard line, and let's see. I mean, there's nobody there.
That's definitely. And that would have been a safety.
That would have been a safety.
Right, so they would have still got something out of it. I'm sure you'll take a touchdown.
Oh, of course.
But,
that's a better trade-off. And what a nice play by Papali as well to read the eyes of Myers, knew exactly what he was thinking about doing. And let's not sleep on the play by Lance Fisher, who's made some great plays offensively in this game, but came in on the rush. The Sharks only rushed 4 on that play, and they were able to get home. And now Hernandez with the point after will try to make it a 16-point game, so the full breadth of 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Remember, if it gets blocked the other way, it's 2 points the other way. We've seen that happen before, only it was a touchdown for the Piranha. Snap is good, spot is good, the line drive kick is no good. It's wide left. So Hernandez puts it wide left, and the lead remains 15. The Sharks 29, the Piranha 14, and the Piranha will get the ball right back offensively. So it's been a second half, John, where we've seen a touchdown on special teams, now a touchdown on defense, a good play on defense to recover a fumble as well. Offense is still yet to register here in this half. The Piranha are going to need a couple of answers here.
And they will need the offense to immediately just start clicking out of nowhere, basically, at that point. If they can get a stop and then get the ball, get a stop, get the ball. But so it's a 15-point lead. You do the math. The Piranha would have ended up down by 9, would have ended up scoring a touchdown, and they can't kick, so they would have had to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion anyway.
Sure.
So effectively, it doesn't really change what they were going to end up needing at the end of it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, because without a kicking game, the Piranha was still down by 2 touchdowns, essentially.
So now they
are still down
by
2 touchdowns, right?
Because they would have went for 2 probably on that first one anyway.
Right.
It just makes you need it at that point. And if maybe you can pooch a kick if you needed to, and that second touchdown doesn't automatically win you the game.
Yeah.
At that point. So
and we should mention to our audience, we did have the scoreboard clock at one point in this game, but that clock is not moving at all. So they are not keeping the clock here. The official time is on the field. We have to imagine there's still plenty of time as far as Central Penn getting the ball twice.
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say. We're probably at about the 11 or 12-minute mark left in the fourth quarter because it was just the one play Jersey had.
So
right?
It might be 12 and a half or something around that range.
Still plenty of time. That's the point. So here we go. Central Penn getting it out past the left sideline. Good moves to cut it back in towards the hash marks. And still on his feet is Barrow. Barrow making more men miss. And it's finally put down at the 45-yard line for the Sharks. So, heck, you need 2 scores. They've officially in business here. Central Penn with a short field to start.
I mean, this was a run and a return that looked like it was going to be over about 4 different times right there. I mean, here's one at that point. Makes a juke back inside. That was about 2.5 and still broke a tackle. And then the 4th time you think it's over. I mean, that was a great one. Now you're at the 45 in business, ready to make things happen. I mean, that's a huge change of what it could have been.
We have seen some great footwork from both teams near the sidelines in this game. I mean, guys that seem to be dead to rights back there or just, pop it out of bounds and save yourself for the next down are really making plays, dancing on that sideline. Great job. And here we go, Central Penn, 45 yards away from pay dirt. They need a touchdown here to get themselves back into this game. They've been down by as many as 17. They're down by 15 here in the fourth quarter. Myers out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. The dump off is on the near side and now turning it in towards the hash marks. The catch made by Ham Brown, his first catch of the game. It's for minimal yardage. We'll call it 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, could have got a bit more yardage if he kind of just went forward with that football, too. It could have been a 2nd and 6. But now this offense needs to work. It looks like they've got a player down as well.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of players down, actually, if I saw that correctly. But, yeah, it looks like one of the linemen here for the Piranha. And, again, the last update we got from Brooklyn was the Seminoles were on top of the Baltimore Hurricanes 12-0. We haven't gotten an update since then, and we don't have access to that game. So if we do get an update, we'll let you know, but it'll get dropped in the chat, I'm sure, at some point. But that's a battle of 2 1-0 teams. Central Penn, the only other 1-0 team. And the Sharks are threatening here to be 1-1 with Central Penn at the end of this one if this score remains or if the lead holds, obviously.
Yeah, they've got a great chance to get to that point. And let's just take a look at the Sharks' schedule for the rest of this one. Let's see what they've got going on. So they take on a good Brooklyn team coming up as well on the 12th, and we'll see what that other game is. But obviously league play matters. So their next 2 games in this league are the Seminoles.
Right.
Yeah. So they've got that's going to be an interesting one. And you play the Piranha again, Hurricanes and the Spartans, and obviously the Cougars on the road. So this is a point where we'll see what the Hurricanes are able to do as well.
And remember, they've already dropped the game to the Hurricanes on the road 20-0, so they get the return trip on October 10th. And, you know, we should mention, you see the Piranha on the schedule twice at home. This game was originally supposed to be played in Central Penn, but they moved it here to Jersey Sharks due to some field issues with CPP. So they'll play twice here in Jersey, and you see, like, basically the big homestand, John, from and that TBA game, we understand, is probably going to be a home game for the Sharks. So we're talking about 5 straight home games where they could just basically, you know, set up the tents and just camp out here at Edison Jets Field. That's perfectly fine with us. And, you know, a road game on September 12th, and then the next one probably not until October 24th. So it's a big stretch here at home, some big games. Every game in the MLF Elite is a big one.
It is a big. It's absolutely every game matters here, and to have an opportunity, and the crossover game doesn't affect those standings at all. So it's when you talk about the league, you get this 4-game run, and depending on what you do with the Seminoles, you could be 2-1 heading into your entire league play, basically the rest of it, and you get a chance to win 4 games at home if you're really great at home. So this is just a perfect opportunity, and if they're able to hold on here in this one as they're up, this could be the start of something really great for the Sharks team.
Yeah, and just to kind of focus it a little bit, John, I think the crossover game does count in the standings. I just don't know if it counts towards playoff position.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I think that's what you meant.
That's what I meant.
But we'll have to get confirmation on that at some point. Right. But yeah, so. Following the injury, we'll have a 2nd down and 8 here for the Central Penn Piranha. Again, we're still in the early stages of the fourth quarter, but the Piranha down by a couple of scores, and at the very least 1 2-point conversion. Need some yards, need them quick, and they've only had the ball a couple of plays here in this half. They only ran 3 plays on their last drive. This is play number 2 here. And they'll air it out towards the sideline. Some hand fighting there, but that pass drifts on CPP's and it was incomplete as there was a good coverage down the field there against Miller.
And I'm not too against just going out and throwing this football and getting it down the field, because you do have to score. At some point, you got to get a big play at some point in this game. So it's a rainbow, and it's out of bounds at that point. Almost made a catch on it, too, but got the hand.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Piranha haven't had a lot of success working at the sidelines. Where they've had success throwing the ball has been really up the middle of the field, and of course with the legs of Myers in this game. But on 3rd and 8 here, undoubtedly 4-down territory and going for it, but this is a big play coming up.
It's a huge play. Right? The Sharks, if they get a stop, and they're going to just sit on the football. if they get a stop.
And the Sharks really haven't shown that they're going to send extra pressure. They are content with their 4 down linemen and bringing 7 back there to guard against 4 wide receivers. And now up the middle of the fake here, and Myers looks like it's a designed run all the way. Flag is down. This will be for a block in the back, I believe. Myers making guys miss, tripped up at the 39-yard line. He got about 4 yards on the play, but I believe the Sharks will back them up here. If the play stood, it would be a 4th and 4.
Right.
But I think they'll make it 3rd and 18. It is a hold. It is against the Piranha, and we'll see. There is some discussion here going on. One coach saying bring them back. The other coach saying possibly decline this, but they are going to bring them back, so it'll be 3rd and 18.
Yeah, at this point. Let's make it that. It's a 10-yard penalty, and you'd have to, if you've had this much confidence in your defense, one, not to bring extra guys, too.
Right.
You'd imagine that they have the chance to get a stop on 3rd and 18 with the next 2 plays.
Yeah, and they are getting pressure, as evidenced by the pick 6 we saw earlier. On that last play, Myers just hasn't had that much room to work, and we've seen. I mean, he's dynamic on his feet. I mean, the dynamism that he possesses is tremendous, but is that what it's going to take? A huge scramble by him to get this first down. It's 3rd and 18, so at this point you just need to cut into the distance.
If he's got the juice left for it, because he's been doing it all game too. If he's still got it, then that might be the only way you're really going to be able to get the big chunk play you need.
Well, either way, the Sharks don't look like they'll bring pressure. In fact, they send guys deeper. 4 down linemen, 5 wide receivers in the game. And Myers again under some duress. And here he goes, dancing from left to right, finds the 40, turns it up, and is taken down from behind. The ball came out, but out of bounds, right at the line of scrimmage. So I don't know if this will count as a sack or not, as they might have gotten a half a yard on the play, but it's going to be 4th and 18 coming up.
Yeah, that was the situation that you kind of expected, right? He's going to have to roll out and go all the way to his left and try to make something happen. Didn't have the throw down the field. That's a good rush up the middle. You got 2 big fellas getting after you. Now let's see if maybe he went down first. His ball came out. He was definitely down.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's going to be a sack for about 2 yards.
And they did back it up a yard. So it'll be 4th down and 19.
Yep.
And this is going to be a play where you just kind of have to hang it up there, John, and maybe for a jump ball, or you hope for a pass interference call as well. But this could be the game. I mean, obviously there's still time left with the incomplete pass. Of course, the clock is stopped, but the Piranha in a tough spot here.
Yeah, it's the last realistic gasp.
Exactly.
Right? At the point where it wouldn't need a real miracle for you to go out and get it done.
And the clock is ticking here, and Piranha with 2 timeouts.
Right, because he was ruled down, so the clock would continue to move
right
at that point, and even if the ball was fumbled.
So here we go, 4th down and 18. Huge play here. Sharks go with the 4 down linemen. That's the pressure that they will send. Long snap count here. Coming towards the end of the play clock. Good snap. A little bit of pressure, middle of the field, and that one is intercepted, perhaps. No official call. It's incomplete. Just as well, John, because they get better field position out of it anyway, but there to break things up was Dion McNeil Sr. The Jersey Sharks will take over on downs with a 15-point lead and a chance to perhaps salt this one away.
Yeah, they found the space, right? You had an opportunity, but no one there, and I don't think he got that interception. They ruled incomplete anyway, so, again, like you said, it is better that you don't catch that football in terms of field position. So now the Sharks have a chance. You just bring in your jumbo, start running this football, and keep things rolling. A great opportunity here for the Sharks. And they have a chance now to run out a ton of clock. They had a big drive in the 3rd quarter that ran out plenty of clock, and they didn't score off it, but it still worked out for them. So, yeah, great chance for Jersey. And this is a team that they know they can run some change out. And we don't know exactly how much time is left, but we've had some good amount of time expire now at this point.
I'd say we're at the 8-minute mark, maybe 9 minutes, but
yeah, we'll see.
We're getting down there. And for as good as the Sharks have been in the air, they have been really good running the football. And I would be surprised if we see them throw on this drive, as Mateo Rodriguez, I believe, is back in at quarterback for the Sharks here with 2 running backs in the game in the pistol set. And the give is going to be to Jones. Jones seeks the inside lane. He only gets about a yard. Good pursuit and a good bit of tackling that time. Greg Crittenden was the first on the stop. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 coming up, but the clock is ticking away.
Yeah, that's really it for Jersey at this point. And now the Piranha again have 2 timeouts, so if they do end up wanting to stop the clock at some point, they only have 2 opportunities to do so. And again, they'll have the 2-minute warning once we get down to that. So, but at this point, run the rock and keep things moving. But right now, so far, if they're able to hold on, a great moment for the Sharks. Hall of Fame induction ceremony today. They had a scare in this game, but right now they're hanging. Now they'll throw the ball.
And now they will indeed. And that one's intercepted as that one came in hot and stepping in front of it. I believe that was number 20 on the play, Omar Martin, who got to that one shoulder to shoulder. And I believe that was Rodriguez's first pass of the game, John. And wow, what a big moment for the Piranha. Another turnover for the Sharks in this game. They've been the victim of a few now, and that gives the ball right back to the Piranha.
Rodriguez had a couple interceptions in the preseason and dealt with that, but yeah, just wasn't able to read that man coming down. We have another timeout here on the field as well, but I mean, you come in, you put the backup quarterback in, and you decide to throw the football. That's about almost the worst case scenario for them besides him taking it to the casa.
That's exactly. The only thing that could have been worse is if Martin was able to return that all the way to the house. And, there's a couple of things to unpack on that play. I think Rodriguez doesn't put any juice on that pass at all. It's kind of just hung up there. But also Butler doesn't come back for the ball either. So, if you're the wide receiver on this play, you have to try and go get the ball. And that's just a play where you're sitting there. And, again, you don't expect the defensive back to cut into your route there. But on both ends, that pass needs to have way more zip on it. But also if you're Butler, you're going to rue that play because you didn't go back for the ball there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not it's an interesting moment. And I think if you're the quarterback, obviously you want to put more juice on it, but you're also not expecting your receiver to stand there. So it's interesting. And it's kind of a play where you talk about what happened in week 1 and making mistakes and not kind of being all in on the game. So at that moment, you kind of think probably you're done. You think the game's over, and now Central Penn has the ball right back with a decent amount of time left.
Pretty much where they gave it right back up to the Sharks. So they take over about maybe a minute, maybe 90 seconds later. They're right back in business, and they're down by 9 again with a chance. The door continues to stay ajar for this Piranha team. Myers in the low flat. The completion is made in a truck over the linebacker on that play. Got to get a number for that young man. I believe that was Lawrence Miller as that play develops opposite where we are. Gain of about 6 on the play. We're going to call it a 2nd down and 4, but let's take a look. Yeah, that was Miller, and boom.
Wow. Get that shoulder down, man.
Left shoulder pad, and the recipient of it was McNeil Sr.
Yeah, that's a tough one to take, but you also need your players to be able to be willing to take those shots. Yep. I mean, that is a big truck, and that shows that this is a Central Penn team that's not going down just yet. They're still in this fight, and that interception is probably giving them a ton of fire.
John, it's a 2nd and about 3 here after that respot of the ball. So 2nd down and 3, and Piranha not working extremely quick, but the fake towards the flat, now in the middle of the field, incomplete, as that pass was thrown way behind the intended receiver, Amado Sotomayor, and dangerous there in the middle, throwing across his body. Myers just couldn't connect.
Yeah, he's done that a lot in this game, and it's worked before. And the thing with the quarterback is when that works once, you want to do it all the time. And then sometimes it can burn you. And it has burned him right in the end zone. He tried to throw the ball and was either intentional grounding or a pick 6 no matter what.
Sure.
So that'll happen. And it's also a result of the pressure from Jersey and what the Sharks have been able to do. I mean, it makes quarterbacks make decisions that you wouldn't normally make under normal reps, and you've got to try to make a play. And that's what he's had to do all game.
And with the clock stopped, they take the full breath of the huddle here and call their offensive play on 3rd down and 3. Mission critical, and number 1 is to get the first down, get yourself a new set of downs. See what they draw up here. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Myers looking left at first, steps up in the pocket, now retreats, wants to get the edge, has it, first down, 40-yard line, 35, and steps out of bounds from there. Fresh set of downs as Myers went down very, very late on his own power. John, and now he is down in a heap at the sideline. You
Yeah.
see it on your screen as the camera pans back, but that would be a huge loss if Myers can't go anymore.
Yeah, they signaled immediately. So we'll take a look at this one as just the play itself, and he's able to escape the rush, makes a nice move, and bounces out to the outside. Good block by number 19, and a good chance over here. He hit a man before.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like, yeah, he got it. He
Like
might
his
have got a
arm. It
shot.
looked like his
Yeah.
arm, his right arm. But
Yeah.
he's back. He's back
Right.
in the huddle. And the ball got spotted at the 35-yard line. So a good gain, and, of course, another set of downs here for the Piranha. Clock is stopped as they did go out of bounds on that last play. The Piranha need all the time they can get. Out of the shotgun, Burnett is in the backfield as well. The fake give to him under heavy pressure now is Myers, retreating all the way to the 45. That one dropped off to Burnett in the flat, but too elevated for him. We have another player down, and players swiping at each other there. But I think that'll do it for John and I here. We want to thank everybody who was in attendance for this one, both online and in person. This was the Sharks' home opener. It was their inaugural Hall of Fame game as well, where they got to really honor some of the history and some of the great players from years past. And it ends in a win for the Jersey Sharks. They improved to 1-1 this season. Central Penn falls to 1-1 this season, so they are now even in the standings. But what John and I will do is say goodbye to you all. Our final score here, Jersey Sharks 29, Central Penn Piranha 14. That'll do it for us. Thank you once again, and be sure to follow the Jersey Sharks all year long here on your home for Jersey Sharks football. It's the PDF Sports Network. Good night, everyone.